Anyway, the stream's live, everyone.
Oh. Okay, everyone. Welcome to. It's weird. It's the second part, but the first recording because we had some technical difficulties last week of the Pacifica one day for Torg Eternity. So to recap what happened, it was a drizzly evening in April in Tokyo. Our group, who don't know each other, all found themselves gathering around a noodle dispenser in the Harajuku province. It's a fashionable province in Tokyo, the sort of place where teenagers hang around, and there's like bars and karaoke and fashion places and the like. Everything seemed fine. They'd all come here for their own reasons, but then the rain started getting a little bit heavier, and there were noises from up and down the streets. This year, 2017. Might be 2018 by the time the game actually hits the shelves, but the near now. The invasion's taking place essentially later today, sometime tomorrow. The world was invaded. That was the original tagline from the 1980s version of Torg, 1990s version of Torg. But anyway, back to the recap. There were sounds of screams from further away, but before you could react to any of that, the grumpy gentleman that was taking his time making a choice from the noodle machine in front of you was crushed and had his throat ripped out by some demonic creature. It was human, but the individual had their skin was quite taut and pale, and it would appear that they had life-threatening, if not mortal, injuries of their own. And the creature was able to resist most of your attempts to subdue it. So it was able to leap on Ginny and get its claws into her shoulders until you were able to subdue it by holding it as still as possibly could be done, and then one of you pulled its head off. Things got worse. The storm got stronger. There were figures seen off in the rain about 40 or 50 feet away up and down the street that looked dangerous. So you took the opportunity of some offered shelter from a friendly store owner by the name of, if I can find his name again, I've got open scene 2, it's over there, Makoto. And he's a middle-aged to elderly gentleman, thick-rimmed glasses, and he offered you sanctuary. You watched the news, found out that the attacks or this violence is going on in a lot of different disparate areas of East Asia. Korea, some in China, both North and South Korea, other places in Japan. So you scavenged what you could from the shop and then went to beat a swift retreat out of the back of the shop, which seemed to be in good time, as at that point something big that you've yet to identify started bashing, I mean proper hammering, on the front of the shop. You proceeded to make your way through the city, deciding that to head toward the park and maybe the safety of the Meiji Shrine or somewhere else in the local area would be the best thing for you to do, which you proceeded to do. I'll just reshare the region map.
Is it still raining?
The rain's let off slightly by this point. You made your way through the city, some places of it deserted. You guided your way through quite well, avoiding any attacks by people you assume are infected. Making your way to the park itself, on the way in, you saw a couple of nasty sights. Just before the park, you encountered another one of these, the people that have obviously succumbed to a latter stage of the infection, but some well-timed arrival of some police forces distracted the creature from your group, and you managed to get over the barricade it was hiding behind and headed on into the park. You saw a individual had been strung up on a lamppost, and there was a pool of black ichor or blood dripped from his feet, and as you wandered past, the eyes of this creature just followed you and it twitched as you went past. There was a further encounter within the park itself, where you found a young girl bent over with her sobbing and with her face hidden on her legs, and one of you went over, I believe it was the security guard, Kerry's character, who's not here just yet, tried to rouse her, and she turned towards him, and her eyes are completely black, and her mouth was opened in a soundless scream, and she twitched and then slowly fell over and died. Nothing else of any import seemed to happen to you until you found yourselves at the Meiji Shrine. I can't remember if I had a picture for the shrine or not. I think I showed you an image from a Google link, didn't I? The shrine gates were closed, and we'd left it as a female voice had called out to you, what are you doing? A couple of you responded persuasively to ask to be let in, and you were indeed let through the gates by a young woman. She probably no more than about 20 or so. She introduced herself. I am Ayumu Keito. I am one of the shrine maidens here. And you think that's probably true. She's wearing the traditional ritual garb in red and white of a shrine maiden. She looks quite scared, a little vacant in her eyes. She's obviously gone through some turmoil herself this evening, but she does seem to be happy to rush you inside, Makoto as well, as he's still with you, and then she securely closes the gates, and you hear a series of like 3 or 4 quite heavy bolts go through, and you find yourself within the shrine complex itself. The shrine complex here is a little strange. It's a mix of ancient buildings, but every so often with new construction done in a very careful way so as not to impact on any of the architecture elsewhere. You can see an example of a 21st century administration block. And it's in that block, which is off to the right of the shrine complex itself, that Ayumi guides you. She doesn't seem to be willing at this point, especially not out in the open where it is still dark, although there are flickering torches and actually lit flame torches every so often around the complex. She doesn't seem to be willing to engage in conversation until she actually gets into the office complex and the doors are closed behind you. They're not locked, but they're modern doors, and they do have a satisfyingly confident sounding sort of thunk closure. Oh, the corns from last time represented reports from the news where you had heard fires breaking out.
Oh, okay.
She leads you through a short corridor into what appears to be some kind of employee lounge. It's quite big, looks to be the size you could probably happily, comfortably sit about 20 or so people having lunch in here. There's a small kitchenette with a fridge, and there are 3 other people sat around. There are 2 elderly gentlemen who are sat next to each other, and they've got in between the 2 chairs that they're sitting on, they've got a Go set, and they're in the process of playing a game of Go. And the other man who's in there is well-dressed businessman, although it looks like his suit's seen better days. He's looking up from over by the sink, where he just appears to have finished washing out a glass. And he does no more than look over to you, acknowledges you've come in, opens a cupboard, pulls out a bottle, and proceeds to pour himself a drink. When you arrive here, Ayumu turns to you as, "Is there anything I can get any of you? You are free to stay here until I hope the danger passes."
I think Ginny is hungry, are you not?
Am I still hungry, or do they pass the? Yeah, nothing.
Hang on, I'm trying to remember the one you had. Oh god, they're all shared.
I know which one I've got with now.
That's the one you've got. Yeah.
Is that the only one I need to focus on?
That's the only one you need to focus on. Yes.
Right. I'm staring at when you talk to me. I sort of look at you blankly. What? And almost have no idea who you are, what I'm doing, what's going on.
I
What?
can't remember what the other thing looked like before it turned into that funny creature. Is he starting to look like that thing?
No, I mean
She-
the thing that attacked always looked the way it looked, and you've seen what you've basically encountered so far within the city. You've seen two distinct things. You've seen crowds, and I mean large crowds of people who appear to be enraged and angry, and they're the ones that have been doing the damage to the city and to the other members of the population. They look like regular Tokyo goers, like regular Tokyo citizens, except there is black drool coming out of their mouths, and they are sort of like enraged and berserk fury. The other things you've only seen two. The first one you saw with the broken leg that you ripped the head off of, and subsequently the one that you distracted by the police. It appears to be, again, human. The first guy was wearing a ripped business suit, but they appear to move with a much jerkier motion. Their skin is taut and sort of like pulled back, giving them a very pallid impression, and their lips are curled back as well, revealing stark white teeth with black gums underneath.
So they were both different, the two that we've encountered.
Yes, you've seen
Quite
lots of
noticeably different.
you've seen lots of the
Okay.
first type, although not up close. You have been lucky. You've seen a couple of instances where you've come very close to encountering roving groups of the infected, you might want to call them. That's what the news is calling them. However, the other ones, the news called Jiangxi, which basically is the Japanese word for hopping vampires. You've seen them in sort of like the sort of like 70s Japanese horror movies where they like hold their hands out and they hop slowly towards you. These do not hop slowly, but they have a sort of a stiff, jerky movement, which means when they are moving, their hands and the arms do appear to be up. So you can see why the media has dubbed them Jiangxi. And apologies if my pronunciation of Jiangxi is incorrect, but that's how it's spelled. And apologies if my pronunciation.
You sound pretty scary to me.
Take your word for it.
Jiangxi is
Aye.
incorrect, but that's how it's spelled. Kerry's here. Welcome, Kerry. So that's Juro. He was the security guard who managed to pull the head off the thing.
We need to work out what the third type of creature is.
Hope you're not referring to me.
Was thinking that, yeah. We've got super fast zombies and jumping vampires. I can't think of any other undead apart from skeletons. So you don't look skeleton yet. So
Isn't there a Chinese one that's a floating head or something like that?
Probably. I think you are absolutely right.
Its head comes off.
Yeah, I've seen that
Let's
in a
not try
fighting
that.
fantasy game book, actually. I remember that one. It wasn't Fighting Fantasy, it was the Way of the Tiger, the ninja ones. Very good books. If you can get them, I recommend them. So Ayumu goes around asking if any of you want any refreshments. She then also seems to be doing her job as hostess, and she proceeds to introduce you. This is Matsuo-san. And she introduces you to, she gestures to the businessman, who like dismisses her with a hand. And he's like, Kenshin, call me Ken Matsuo. If you need anything in the vehicle trade, what am I talking about? That's all gone to hell. And with that, he downs the clear liquid that's in his glass. And any of you who are of a drinking age can clearly smell sake. And he just proceeds to draw himself another drink. And he just raises, if I'm going to die tonight, I do not plan to do it sober.
Well, and your skills may still be useful, even though the world has gone to hell, as you say.
No. What use is a car salesman in this situation?
I'd
Anyway.
love a car.
And she goes over, and the two elderly gentlemen. This is Akira Sato-san and Yosaya Fujimoto-san. Both men look up. The first, who she introduced as Akira, seems to look up impatiently and puts his attention right back towards the game. His companion Yusai looks up and smiles warmly, and with a sort of the effort of a man who's obviously in his late 50s, proceeds to push himself up out of his chair and actually takes the time to warmly greet each of you. Must apologize for my friend Akira here. He is he considers himself a realist. Don't be a coward, you say. You know we should have left with the others. And then he replies, the only thing outside these walls is death. We are safer here. Do not be rude to everybody. They have the feel of friends that have known each other for quite a long time. As he is shaking all of your hands, you do notice anybody that accepts his hand to shake it, that Yusai is indeed missing the small and second or next to little finger on his right hand.
Oh, is this a Yakuza thing?
Make a streetwise roll.
Oh, is this a... Okay.
Sorry, no, it's only his little finger. Sorry, I overestimated his facility for wrongdoing.
Some of our evil people do it too, because Mr. Gang Member here.
I'm good at streetwise.
You might do. I mean, as a gang member, you probably know. Yeah, that is that is a punishment in those circles.
I don't know what streetwise goes off as a spirit.
Be mind.
In that case,
Streetwise actually goes off charisma.
Oh, there you go, charisma. But yeah, in this instance, it's more knowledge than trying to work out whom.
sure.
Okay.
Ah, yes, that's what I was looking for. So let's see. The 12 gives me a 0. That's easy enough.
Now I'm
keep buried under
briefly
windows.
I'm briefly going to try and test anybody's knowledge of Fantasy Grounds. Can anyone remember the console command to reduce your interface size? Because I normally run at 80%, but since I've reinstalled,
I thought it was in the setting before you came into the game.
which
No,
means I can't.
you can
do
do
it.
You can do it from within. It's /scale UI and then the percentage you want. So /scale UI and then you perhaps want to put
Yes.
95 or something.
Yeah, I do 80. Of course, it has just switched it back to the one window, but I can, because yeah, there was not enough space for all the stuff that I have on the screen.
It's very easy to do when you're GMing that.
So Yusai continues to speak pleasantly with anybody that will engage him in conversation until Akira appears to get disgruntled with him and goes, Yusai, the game, and calls him back to the go table. What else are you doing, if anything else?
Just sort of examining the people, I guess, for someone who might be in any way suspicious. But
Give me suggest to me which skill you might use. Find is obviously just for spotting physical things about them.
well, I mean, it would probably be both find and evidence analysis.
Okay, we'll do evidence analysis first, because that's certainly pulling together the various strings from what they're dealing with. Let me know what your total is. So again, D20, get your bonus number, add that to the skill total, which is the skill adds, plus the appropriate stat, which I believe evidence analysis is almost certainly mind.
Yeah, it's 12.
Okay. Who are you paying most attention to first? Ken, Akira, Yusai, or Ayura? Girl.
The businessman guy.
Okay. He definitely. I mean, the first thing you're getting is he's definitely trying to get himself pretty roaring drunk. The other thing you notice is his suit looks to be quite nice cuts. This is obviously a guy that pays attention to his appearance, but it is showing signs of having been drenched very recently, and the hems of the trousers are showing signs of mud, as if he's obviously run across somewhere muddy recently, and there are just a number of sort of nicks and snags where the material's obviously been mistreated, probably recently.
Oh. Right.
Anyone else looking for anything else? You're not being told to stay here. The building that you're in has a floor. The temple complex itself is quite large scale as well.
Would we expect to find anything of use in it though, or is there perhaps like I don't know if I'm imagining some sort of like I'm not sure what it's called, but
Katana.
Huh?
Katanas.
Yeah, sure, that as well probably. But I mean, I don't think you'd find that in a temple. But
Well, there is you can well Ayumu sorry is the temple attendant. So if anyone would know, it is her. Or you could just look around. Depends what you want to do.
Okay. I might go to.
Plus, anybody that's a local can give me an appropriately local knowledge roll, especially if you've got the religion skill. You might know, because this is a Shinto shrine, so it's a potential that you're, as a practitioner of the religion, it might actually mean that you know a little bit more about the shrine than anybody else. It is a site of local importance.
I don't know what they're called, but they should have them burning chopsticks they stick into people.
What do you mean, the acupuncture needles?
No, it's like pieces of paper on a thing and you burn them. And
Nunchucks.
but the pieces
You
of
can
paper.
certainly throw nunchucks, but yeah, I don't think you're back paper nunchucks.
If they pin them into people, I've seen it in the movies. Used to watch a lot of ghost stories back in the day.
Guys, roll me a d6, please.
I think you would expect to find is sort of those seals that I see, like little notes with things scribbled on them that's sort of put on places to ward off evil spirits and whatnot.
That's it. That's the thing. See, you knew what I was talking about.
I didn't
Like,
know.
we're like connected. We're connected.
How are those things? There's nothing very chopsticky about that.
I felt the connection. I felt the connection.
Gaz, you feel your guts roil, and yeah, whatever was there before passes.
Okay.
Is Ayaka talking to Ayumu about stuff?
Yeah. Well, first I guess I just want to see how much you might know of the place.
What was your total on that to begin with?
Well, yeah, I got a 22. So.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, being an outsider at school, you probably found the piece of the temple complex and the various bits around the park second nature to you. Could be why you were able to lead everybody here relatively simply. You know that there is a small museum within the shrine itself, although there's probably certain items in there that might be useful, but there's probably also certain items that certainly somebody religious wouldn't want to remove from the museum. You know there's a practice dojo within the outer ward, which would involve going beyond the confines of the security of the temple at the moment. But there may very well be weapons there, kendo sticks if nothing else.
Would it be cheating for me to look up this place on Google Maps?
You can do if you want. Wouldn't necessarily change what's available here, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to get an idea of the outline and whatnot.
Yeah. If you actually look, the Google map is already on here. You see the little. Actually, I think it's weird because the actual shape of the complex is almost the same as the actual shape of the gate, like you've come in.
Well, I'm not sure where we go from here. We seem to have found a relative safe haven amidst the storm that's happening at the moment.
Is there any radios here? So like broadcast saying, everyone, please go to blah blah blah.
Radios.
Yusai picks up. No, there have been no transmissions for a good few hours yet. And then belching after downing another sake, Ken says, "And I wouldn't go to the train station if I were you. I've never seen any carnage, but the carnage there was. I barely escaped it with my life."
Have we already asked if anyone knows what these things are historically?
You have not asked anybody that. You can go ahead and ask them that if you wish.
Yeah, these myths, whatever they are, becoming real. How do we find them? How are they?
Ken looks at you. Myths? Myths? This isn't myths. This is the apocalypse. These things are people gone mad. Yusai says, "Calm down, man. Calm down. We came here as quickly as we could. Akira here wanted to fight, but as I say, it would have been foolish to do so."
Akira's here? How many people are here? Apart from us?
There is Makoto, who's the elderly shopkeeper you brought with you from his shop. There is Ayumu Kato, who is the shrine maiden, young girl. There are Akira Sato and Yusei Fujimoto, who appear to be friends who've gotten their way here. And there's the bedraggled businessman Kenshin, call me Ken, Matsuo.
There's 6.
Are there windows here?
Yes, it's a modern building. Although where you are at the moment, this office block is entirely within the temple complex. So from the ground floor, any windows looking to the outside would simply look to the rest of the complex.
I see. Well, it seems we perhaps should fortify where we are. I don't see there's anything for us to do outside, and I imagine we'll be attacked at some point.
We should put up some large visible sign saying "not infected" when the police and then roll them out when we see the police coming.
There's a couple of there's a nod. There's a nod from Makoto and Yusai. Akira, the grumpier of the two older men, just like seems to shake his head a little bit in disagreement, and Ken appears to have no interest in doing anything apart from getting his way through the bottle of sake that he's got.
Do you think these things can read? Would we be alerting them to us being here?
Well, that's why we wait until we see the people with guns, because they might not pause before obliterating anything they see.
They may not.
I wonder if, yes, we should. I think we should fortify the place and try and stay low, and hope reinforcements arrive. I'm sure this is just some sort of attack by the North Koreans.
Akira says, "Ha! Finally, someone's talking sense. Although I can tell you're not a local."
No, I'm from South Korea originally. I fled here.
Just so you know, other defining features. Akira's outfit, he's wearing a dumpy t-shirt and a Western-style fishing hat. Yusai has 3 fingers on his right hand, but otherwise he appears to be dressed in quite casual clothing. I said Yumu is sticking out because it's literally sort of almost like a kimono she's wearing, but it's more temple garb.
Question for you. My character's backstory mentions the rest of my gang went to the construction site near this temple.
The construction site's actually to the west of the temple. It's essentially, you can see on the map, you've got the National Olympic Memorial Youth Centre.
Yep.
The bit to the south of that, where it says Yoyogi Makinozonocho, is actually a construction site.
Like the one thing I was actually looked at that place and I says, right, that we're not going there because it's too hard to pronounce. But it seems I have to go there.
And that's where the construction site is.
Yeah, because I meant to be looking after them.
Ginny, Ayumi, sorry, walks up to you. Are you okay, miss? You seem distracted. Ayumi jumps back 2 steps. I'm sorry, I did not mean to offend.
Get away!
Oh, okay. And she seems to back away, and anybody watching, she doesn't just visibly back away, but she seems to retreat into herself as she backs away as well.
Ginny, what's come over you? Oh,
Ah! Leave me alone!
Ginny, you're not yourself.
Can I roll?
Yeah, you can if you want.
She was bitten, so
Actually, she was clawed, not bitten. Just for
okay.
she takes a swing at Sun, but Sun, you're able to easily, unless somebody's doing anything about it. You step back as her hand sweeps a good 3 or so inches past your face.
I hold out my hand to her, my sort of palm outstretched as in a sort of non-threatening way, and say, Jenny, calm down. You've got to calm down. We'll have to restrain you otherwise.
A couple of the other men in the group are like, "What's wrong with her?"
I start screaming and jump on you.
I don't
Like,
know. She
just-
got
Like, with nails slashing at you. Probably
Alright.
doing very little, but...
I'll duck.
For the purposes of this combat,
Which one are you, by
Ginny,
the way?
for the purposes of this combat,
Oh, no.
Ginny will use the villain line.
Yes, you're fatigued. In your face.
Wow.
He's like evil Ginny. Funny.
Ginny, you go first. Please go ahead and decide what you're doing.
I'm gonna... Because... So, are you Sun?
I am.
You are. So, because Sun just happens to be the closest, I tried to, jump on him and just, slashing at him with not claws, my hands and fingernails, because I don't think I've got any actual weapons. And just like a mad, shrieking woman or girl.
No, but you are you are a
My
a
girl?
fashionista. You're in your early 20s.
Okay.
You're
Yep.
20 something, but you can have fashionably long fingernails with a decent manicure because your
Oh,
character
yeah.
is all about her appearance.
Oh, I bet they're all painted like that. Funky. I bet you got those funky
Mhm.
nails.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing them close up soon.
She's got
Got every
claws.
single Pokemon character on them.
Fighting nails. Yeah, Pokemon. Yeah.
I put my fingers down and they just extend.
Roll unarmed combat.
Do I get to roll? Yep.
Yeah. Of course you do. Son, you need to. Oh wow. That's add a 6 to your unarmed combat. What's your unarmed combat defense, son? Should be on the front of your character sheet.
It's quite funny being called son. You keep thinking everyone's being a bit cocky. What's your defence, son? Unarmed combat. Oh, it's not unarmed combat. There's actual defence skill, isn't there?
What it is, it works. Your unarmed defense is your dex plus your unarmed combat skill, so it's the same as your unarmed combat.
Okay, it's 8 in total.
Okay,
Dex
what did
plus
you
that.
just get on unarmed combat?
What is my unarmed combat?
It's your dex plus any unarmed combat adds.
Okay, I have no
If
unarmed
you
combat.
don't have
Right.
any, it's just your dex.
Dex is 9. Plus the...
Plus the 6,
15.
that's a 15. That gets way over. Right, your base unarmed combat damage is just your strength. But because you got 5 over Sun's defense, you get to roll a bonus die.
You could have someone's eye out with them nails, you know.
This is where I keep rolling 6s now.
Yes. Decapitate me.
That's my strength is 6 or 9.
9 versus Sun's toughness, which is also a 9. So it's a glancing blow. You take no more than 2 shock from literally her fingers rake across your face, leaving red welts across your left cheek, but doesn't raise any blood.
Damn it.
Hang on, don't speak too soon. Just got to open the right page in the book that I didn't have open a minute ago. React amongst yourselves. Decide who's going first in your round.
Well, I think Juro should go first because he's a good head ripper.
I
Okay.
kind of, well, I'm just imagining that. Well, it depends if I could sort of use telekinesis to restrain her in some way.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not
I'm
sure exactly.
lashing and thrashing around at the moment and screaming,
Well,
Probably need
telekinesis,
lift
you
her up.
can-
shouting, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!" But
Well,
it
you
doesn't.
sort of-
you pick up ropes and stuff and tie it around her or stuff like that. Wasn't that what
Yeah, but I mean,
telekinesis move?
if I could your telekinesis to lift her, right, and move her, then I should probably be able to use it to make her not move as well.
You could restrain her. You could attempt to essentially grab her and restrain her the same way Juro attempted to grab and restrain the Jiangshi in the first encounter.
Wouldn't you just have to apply opposite force to wherever she was going?
Yeah, it's just a
that
generic
would work.
grab in that respect.
Yeah.
So, who's going first?
Well, the thing is, she is sort of holding on to.
She leapt onto Sun, so yeah, she'd have to be probably pulled off of him first.
Yeah, so if someone could get her off of
Oh,
him.
by the way, you all take 2 shock.
Not me.
Is that
Apart
including
from
the?
Sun, yeah.
Is that
That's
including
in
the two?
addition to the 2
yeah.
you just took.
Ooh,
Just the
roger
events
that.
of this evening with the sudden violent outbreak from one of your number obviously takes its toll.
Okay, I'm going to launch myself at Jenny and try and restrain her.
Well, you don't need to launch. You can literally, she's on you. She's like in your face, so you could just grab
Okay.
out.
Yeah,
What's your
grab out.
base shock, by the way?
I'm nimble, me.
I'm going for strength if I can.
I'm very strong as well.
Okay, she's the closest. So go ahead, son, and make your. So it's an unarmed combat versus her unarmed combat.
Oh, damn it, it's Dex. Oh well, never mind. I'm having you all the same.
And if you manage to get
Yeah, it's not much.
It
Not
is
too
a
difficult.
reasonable success over her, you can actually restrain her. Otherwise, you're going to do some damage if you elect to do so.
Is Ayaka essentially giving me an assist? Is that what she's doing?
Well, yeah, I'm happy because this is combat. You can do each individual attempt separately.
Alright. Bit afraid, Jenny. Something that's plus north now. Just doesn't happen. Okay.
She's you reach out trying to grab, but she's all flailing limbs, dangerously close stiletto heels.
Okay, too many spiky bits on here. Someone else sort her out.
Okay, Sun's managing to sort of like almost hold her off, but that's about all you've been able to maintain.
Right, so I guess I'll use telekinesis.
Okay, make the appropriate roll.
Do I get to put a card in my hand?
You do, as does Sun. You can move a card from your hand into your pool.
Is that is 12. Yeah.
What's the difficulty of TK?
Isn't it 10?
It depends.
Okay.
It's not always 10 on different ones.
In this case, it would be a sort of opposed by power strength or something, wouldn't it?
I think there's actually a cast to begin with. Let's double check it. Difficult number's only easy for telekinesis.
Oh.
So basically, that's to activate it. Well, one thing, if you want to activate it and use it in the same round, maneuver could cover a physical trick. You'd have, because you activated it, you now need to apply it, so it would be a second action. But you now can apply your strength at range, essentially.
Okay, so but I get to do that next time then.
Yeah, so if you're not doing it now, you've sort of like you bringing the power to the forefront of your mind.
Right.
You can feel the moisture in your left nostril as a corpuscle bursts. Who's going after Ayaka looks creepy, but somehow quite focused off to one side of the room.
Jiro will attempt to restrain Jin.
Please don't pull my head off.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Again, are you going to spend a possibility or do anything like that?
I think I'll
A
save it.
tiny little woman.
Again, she is just all. You're trying to grab an arm to get it next to another arm, but you grab one arm and then the other one's out of reach, and by the time you've managed to try and wrestle the other one out of reach, you've lost track of the other one. She's just all angry, flailing limbs right now. Co, what are you doing?
I'm currently trying to work out why I had 9 shock when I should have had 8 shock. Okay, that's fixed.
Well, 6 at the moment because you've taken fatigue.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to work out how I had 9 because the sheets all said 8. I'm going to. I'll just attack the Ginny. Stabby,
How?
stab.
You're trying to stab her. Okay.
I'm a tiny
Stabby.
little woman.
Stab. Stabby, stab. Come on. Stab her in the eyes. That'd be a good one, isn't it? They ripped her head off last time.
She looks nothing like the creature you fought before, just to let you know.
Yeah, but she was clawing and the other thing clawed, didn't it?
It was mainly about the teeth.
Better safe than sorry. Ooh, that was so close. 25, that's 8 plus my. Oh, what the hell's weapons come under?
Dexterity, generally.
No, melee weapons. Okay, 3 plus. I forgot my numbers from that. 25. 8 plus 3 is 11 plus dex 22.
What's your unarmed defense, Ginny?
9.
That means you're rolling 2 bonus dice for damage. Do not forget you reroll 1s for having the trademark weapon of your switchblade.
Yeah. But I didn't get a 1 and I didn't get a 6. Ah! So it's 5 plus, what's the switchblade damage?
Strength plus 1, I think.
Okay, that's 5, 4, 15.
Ginny's toughness is only a 6.
6.
So that is...
I guess I'm not getting the benefit of my shield.
no, not at this point.
No.
It's only 9 over. If he'd got 10 over, it would have been more.
Don't tell him that.
Well, everybody knows that's how the rules work.
Shh, might forget.
I've just got to find the ref screen.
I was hoping to get a 60 in that roll, guys. I was just like, oh. Does this mean I can copy a card over?
You can indeed. That's 1 wound and 2 shock as the knife blade stabs into the meat of
Can I
Ginny's shoulder. You can attempt
Block it thingy, whatever.
You can
Shield.
soak it if you wish.
Soak it. Possibility thing, is it?
Spend a possibility. Generate a reality skill check. Difficulty 10s.
Yes. Do I roll again?
You do.
Both realities, he gets hurt. Just joking.
So that's a 33. Gives you a bonus number of an 10 onto your
10.
reality skill. That's a 19, I think.
Reality skill is 1 on top of mind. Spirit. 19. Yeah, 19.
Okay, so the difficulties are 10s. So if you get a standard, you'd soak 1 wound and all shock. If you got a good, you would have soaked 2 wounds and all shock. If you get an outstanding, you soak everything. So you were 1 away from soaking everything, but you didn't do as much damage. So essentially, Co, you are certain that you're on target, but when the knife comes away, there's no blood. There is a hole in Ginny's blouse, but you obviously just went straight through cloth. You didn't actually do anything to her.
You were touching cloth.
Okay. A question about telekinesis.
Go
Let's
ahead.
say that someone's been stabbed and the knife is left in them. Could I use telekinesis to sort of just gruesomely pull it through the person?
Damage roll with that, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, because then it's already in. So I wouldn't have to hit.
Can you not try and kill me, though?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I want to
hang on.
kill you.
That was the wrong thing. Push the wrong thing. Willpower 8. Nobody take that card. You shouldn't have it.
But that's how we need to kill something if we.
Willpower 8. Because I was trying to do that.
No.
Flurry.
Oh, we get 2 attacks. Whoa!
Stop trying to kill me.
Okay,
Right.
heroes.
I'm a hysterical woman.
Before the
killing
the previous round ends, a couple of the other people in the room, Makoto, the old man, rushes over trying to help. He is obviously more bothered that Ko is trying to stab Ginny. He's like, no, don't. Whereas Akira and Yusai, the 2 old men, both stand up and they're looking around fearfully, and they say, "Quiet, keep her quiet. Too much noise." Ken appears to be knocking back the drinks, oblivious to what's going on. So who's going first?
Hmm.
Can Joe go first?
Yeah, you're right. Anybody that's up close, it's up to you guys. You can
Well,
justify reasoning for going first, however you want.
If I'm going to try to restrain her, and maybe if someone could use an interaction attack to make it easier.
Can I have somebody who's going to restrain me, not try and kill me, go first?
Yeah, I'm going to try to restrain, but I want it to be easy.
But you
That's all
asking
right.
for me to go first? Okay, no problem.
I want you just to be restrained yourself. I think you're the one who's actually trying to kill people, not me.
Give me your claw.
So, has anyone got decent charisma to taunt?
Unfortunately, not.
I do. I've got good taunt as well. 3 ranks in taunt. However,
Taunt is an approved action for you as well, Gaz.
all right. I need to do a wound.
Is Ginny got pigtail things?
It's up to Ginny. Maybe. It's up to her.
What's the fashion in Japan at this time?
Probably very similar to what your character's got in her picture.
Yeah, I'd say the picture. It's not.
Bangs and shoulder length
Well,
at the back.
maybe it is, yeah. Maybe there's a.
But not necessarily ponytails. Not in a 20-something, anyway.
So
Well,
what's the other one called? The one that goes down your back. That's a ponytail, isn't it?
Pigtail. Single one.
Oh, pigtails. Single one, okay.
I
So
thought
if
ponytail was a single one.
yeah.
If it was.
Well, regardless, if we want her to not hurt us, and 2 be easily sort of taken, like pacified, then someone should use a whole bunch of interaction attacks to make us stymied and vulnerable.
Okay.
So yeah, before I do anything.
Well, maneuver can be
Okay.
an interaction attack. An attempt to restrain someone like that is probably, if you can do it with unarmed combat, you can get 10 or more, then you can actually restrain them. You could probably do it with maneuver as well, but you'd still need to get 10 over their decks in order to get a player's call, which would be, I have restrained them and I've restrained them in this fashion. So, Sonny, you're going to assist with the restraint of Ginny?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just try and restrain her again then.
Okay. If you wanted to, you could try a taunt in a sort of a convincing her to stop doing it way, or you can try a physical maneuver restraint, or just an unarmed combat restraint, your choice.
Oh, for unarmed combat again. No, it's terrible.
Remember, possibilities, you have them. If they don't get used at the end of scenes or the end of acts, they'll get reset.
Well, that's improved, yeah.
That's a bonus number of 8.
Okay, 8 onto my dex and unarmed combat gives me a total of 17.
17 versus Ginny's dex.
9.
And you, there's a 10, so 17. Right, so you get a a good success. It's not enough to completely restrain her, but you can now make her either very vulnerable, which will make her easier to hit, very stymied, make her harder to do things, or stymied and vulnerable, so it'll be at the halfway point for both.
I want to go for stymied. I'm trying to restrain her, calm her down, stop her from hitting me with her claws.
Okay.
Okay, so is that going to try to make her vulnerable as well, or?
Doesn't look like it.
No.
So just go ahead and do what you're going to do. Remember, everyone's had one combat round, so you should have one card in your pool at the moment.
The first turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if she's sort of
Oh, in
standing
fact-
by herself now.
Yaka, don't forget, you could put a card into your pool. You've got 2 alertness and idea. Cool. You remembered your situational awareness. Cool.
Sorry, what did you say?
Just making sure you had 2 cards in your pool because of your situational awareness perk.
Yeah.
So-
Right. Well, if she's sort of standing by herself now, not clinging to someone, I'm going to try to sort of use telekinesis to just bring her down to the ground, or
You're trying to restrain her,
Whatever.
essentially.
yeah.
Right, what you're going to do with this, you're going to use your telekinesis skill to actually
Yeah.
hit, but I don't know, I don't do that. Actually, no, use your strength plus TK skill. So it's your telekinesis skill, you're applying it as strength. Just go ahead. First thing I said was correct.
16.
Remember, possibilities are there to spend.
Yeah. Well, that puts me at 15 total. Wait, 16, 3. Yeah. No. That's actually 17 total. Don't think I'll spend a possibility on that. So, yeah, 17.
Okay, it's unarmed combat, so her unarmed combat is a 6. So you have her currently well and truly grappled. Are you electing to do damage, or are you just attempting restraint?
Well, if she is if she is close to a wall or something, I might sort of inadvertently, because I don't know how to exactly control these powers, sort of slam her into the wall.
She wasn't really, because she was staring up at the lights, which is sort of in the middle of the room. So
Right. Okay. Then
you've just like pushed her down to the floor, and that's what you said originally. Yeah, on an outstanding, she's also stymied, and she is restrained. So you're now flat-footed to all attacks. You can't move. On your turn, you may attempt to break free, which is an opposed test of strength. Okay, so Ginny literally sort of like almost ragdolls to the floor. Looks quite uncomfortable. Who's going next? Duro or Co?
I want to do something. I don't actually know where her wound is, by the way.
She was wounded on the shoulders. They were treated, and you can't see them because underneath her blouse, but you can see the wound holes in the blouse.
Can I rip her blouse off and have a look at her wound?
You can do, but it's under. Well, okay, yeah, you don't know
My
yet.
hand is wounded as well.
And
Yes,
I
your
cut,
hand is
it
wounded.
myself on some glass, I think.
I don't
Glass.
care about your hand.
I just want to get into my brows. Now?
Yes. Well, I'm thinking like if you're infected, and you know, it might like be a purpley color or something. Well, I don't know what color the vampire was, but there we go. Try it. Pull it off. Have a look. What's stats at? 'Cause I don't have a stat for looking.
Well, unarmed combat first to grip and rip.
Oh, grip and rip.
Grip and rip.
Hey, if there was no fondles, you're okay.
Yeah, it's not gone full scale hentai yet.
Any chance you had with Ayako is gone now. She's not going to be impressed with this.
I'm going to do a possibility on this because I want this to.
Okay.
I'm
It's at least
glad I
10.
did that. That's 25. That is an 8.
Do you realise you're wasting all your possibilities on me when some big bad is going to come in a minute? just you know.
Is it on
Stop
unarmed combat?
It is unarmed combat, yes.
8, that's 10 plus my dex. That's 21. Sorry, I just realised
Okay,
what I was saying.
we'll assume that there are some minuses for targeting, but you cover those. I think what's your strength?
Strength is 9.
9.
or-
Yeah, just roll 2 bonus dice.
My strength is 6.
I re-roll ones.
Yes.
Not I don't.
No, you're not
them
using your
unarmed.
blade.
You're not using your
So
switchblade.
that's what I just said. I don't do it with my
But
switchblade.
it's fine. You grip and pull, and the quite flimsy blouse, well, at least the top of it comes away in your hand. It rips slightly as you pull as well, and you can see the neatly dressed wounds on each of her shoulders. Juro, what are you doing?
What did you say about the wounds on the shoulders?
They're
Neatly dressed wounds.
Son looked at them, didn't he? I think, and
Um,
put the stuff on
So
when I first got hit.
while Kasuki is looming over
Mhm.
Ayaka, I'm going to try and put these zip ties on.
Okay,
I think you should put them on Ko.
you can do it with
the one with the
maneuver or unarmed combat. How do you want to do it?
Yeah, Kasuki. Right. I'm also playing Flurry and spending possibility.
Everyone's losing their possibilities.
Hey, it's
I'm not that
important.
big of a threat.
Okay,
You
don't
say
forget,
that.
it is a flurry round anyway, so you don't need to do a flurry yet, so you can keep that one for now.
Oh,
But if you want, you can use the flurry card to say, well, I'm going to get my go now, a second go before anyone else's second goes come up.
I forgot
So
to cut my
you're
card,
on
but-
a 6 at the moment. That's a bonus number of 6, by the way.
17.
17, we're doing with maneuver, yeah?
Unarmed combat.
Oh, okay, unarmed combat. So either one's okay. That one's there. 17, that's a 4. Although you have got your funky ability, so that makes it at least a 5. So you can choose to, you don't get the full effect, but the impact can make him either very vulnerable, very stymied, or vulnerable and stymied. Your choice.
Will I get any kind of bonus because he wasn't expecting this? And I mean, he was basically wrestling with Aika.
You would do, but
Aren't
not
I
enough to
already
get you onto the next level.
Stymied. Was
Oh,
it?
it's not you.
Oh, not doing it to me. Oh, you're doing it to Ko.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
He's just tried to knife you.
Oh, that's all right.
He said he just wants to hurt lots of people.
Good on you. Sorry, I thought you did it to me. No,
Well, I
that's
would
what
have
I
He tried to strip you. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, successfully stripped her. She's got a flowery blur on, but she can't do anything to hide her modesty because she's been held on the ground. I would say you want to go for very vulnerable. So you're setting it up, and then you can play your flurry to get your second action immediately.
Okay.
So you can play the card and make another attempt.
What's he doing to me, by the way? I didn't actually hear. Wasn't
You're
listening.
getting zip tied.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. In your face. I'll teach you for stripping a girl.
Gaz, please don't forget you have an ability.
Oh, I can still play it. Is that?
course you
Am I?
can.
Can I?
Yeah, you
They're
can do it. You can do it on anybody.
Allies, are they?
Doesn't matter. Oh, yes.
Should I have had another card in hand, by the way, for that last move?
You should do. You should have 2 by now.
Would
Hang on,
not-
I just need to read up on it now. What? I know. Helper says allies.
You want the other one, probably. So I've got rid of the flurry card.
Okay, yeah. It just I've got to be within verbal or visual contact. Accept an invoked reality storm. So what did he roll? A 7?
Yep.
And this is to tie up Ko.
Seemingly so, yes.
Can I
Got-
still spend a pause?
You can do indeed.
Okay.
Well, your ability doesn't spend it, it just grants them one.
Okay.
So that's a total of a 26. That's a bonus number of a 9.
I'll grant them later then. Can I give as many as I want?
I would have to double check. I think so.
It's a free thing, so if it's free, does that mean I can do it as many times as I want?
As long as you've got them left.
Yeah, that's all right. So I can keep hold of them for now until when people need them.
Yeah, it's a free action that can be done at any time. Give others their possibilities, plural.
Oh, I missed that bit.
Use grant possibilities. Okay, so
Oh,
anyway,
the actual title. Yes, it is, isn't it?
back to the security guard setting up. So there was a brief scuffle where basically you managed to get Ko's arms behind him. Before he knows what's happening, you've got an arm lock and see if you get through. So it's a bonus number of 9 on your unarmed combat.
Yeah, I thought you said it was 26.
No, 26 was the total you got on the dice.
Oh, 9, 20.
Ko, what is your unarmed combat? -4 for your briefly very vulnerable state.
Is this a contest?
It's versus your melee or unarmed defense at this point. It's the contest of grapple, which essentially he's putting a
There you go.
your grapple on you. That becomes when your attempts to go through.
Played my card. That's what I
He's
was
not an
asking.
opponent.
What do you mean I'm not an opponent?
He's an
He's a-
ally.
Strictly
an
speaking,
opponent.
he's on your side. Let me just double check what the card says. That could be weird rules lawyering on my part, but let's have a double check.
It says after an opponent has.
Oh, that's weird. We could argue that one.
That's why I was asking about the contest, because then he put it on himself by accident.
Yeah, it's not a contest. Let's just double check it. Yeah, I don't mind if that goes like that. At the last minute, Juro, you think you've gotten the tie on him, but then just one hand jerks back and the zip tie is tightened around a single wrist. Everybody's actual next flurry goes.
Me.
Well, I think it's a choice. I think both you and Juro are going to attempt to go first, aren't you?
I thought Juro just used his turn to go first.
No, he had a card. He got an
Oh.
extra flurry action.
Has Ko still got the knife in his hand?
I presume Ko still has got the knife in his hand.
Okay.
Ko, would you still have the knife in your hand?
I had to have a knife in one hand. I ripped her with my other hand. So
Yep.
yeah.
I'm playing Master Plan.
What does
Master
Master Plan do?
I get to steal the opponent fails.
Okay, cool.
So if they try to do something on me, I can fail them.
Oh,
Right, go ahead and take it.
Okay, because I'm going to use telekinesis to remove the
well, I
knife.
was going to go first anyway because I said me at the start.
I think because
Okay,
this is a
sure.
contest, we're probably going to have to go in. Well, Dex, depend on what you're doing, because if you're doing a mental thing, it will. So, of the people who are doing stuff, if you're doing a physical action, what is your dexterity? If you are doing a
11.
mental action, what is your mind? So, Juro, what's your dex? You're an 8. Right. So, physically, Ko would go first. Mentally, however, I think Ayaka
has-
goes first.
Yeah, she's got a mind of 12.
Now, whatever you're doing, you're already maintaining an existing psionic effect, so it will be at a -2 regardless.
Yeah. Wait. So it is the switchblade he has,
Yep.
and the blade is out. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So can I
Unless-
just quickly, because I can steal opponent fails,
Yes.
and I'm allowed to play it immediately. Can I play it to create his opponent fails to fail?
No.
Ah,
But you can play it. Well, the problem is it's got to be in your pool, and it isn't.
no, it goes straight into my pool.
Oh, from Master Plan it does,
Yeah,
yes.
so it goes, and I can play it immediately.
Yeah, but you can't make an opponent fails because that's not a test, that's a card. But you
Right.
can use it from this point on to do whatever you want.
Okay. Damn it. Sorry. Carry on. Sorry.
So, mind first, Ayaka.
Okay. 17.
So you're trying to disarm me then?
Essentially, she is, yes.
Means the thing on the other person's gone now, isn't it?
No, she'll be getting a -2 on this one for maintaining multiple effects.
That is
Because I think this is the first time we've done this type of
Yeah.
thing.
However, he is still very vulnerable.
wait. So can you use the spirit? So that is 11, 15, and he was very vulnerable. You said.
Yep. And he will
Right.
continue to be very vulnerable until the end of his next his
So
next
that's
go.
19.
Right. So we're probably going to be doing an aim shot for a small item here. So that sort of cancels out the vulnerable easily enough. Okay, what's your range attacks? What's your dodge?
13.
And what did you get? 19.
Yep. Oh well, -4, so it's 15.
Yeah, but as I said, the -4 cancels out the +4. So
Yeah, so it's at 15.
sorry, what was your one? Direct. What was your
13.
13. So it's only 2 result points. It's just a standard success. So you manage to, well, you can make him stymied or furtherly vulnerable. So I think it's stymied you're going to go for, you.
Yeah.
Okay. Ko, you feel something tug on your hand, but you manage to keep grip of your knife. What are you doing?
Can I just ask, now that Ayak is concentrating on Ko, does that mean I am no longer pinned down by her?
No, she's taking a -2 for
Oh, okay.
maintaining 2 effect.
That's fine.
What's Ko doing?
You said I was very vulnerable, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, because you said something about it vulnerable again, so I was wondering, like, you can't put extra onto it.
No, you're stymied as well though from that one. So you're getting a +2 on any difficulty numbers.
Okay, I wish to hit the person who's trying to grapple me.
That would be Juro.
Yep.
So Juro, your dodge or your appropriate unarmed combat is 2 points higher because of Ko's stymied state.
Do we need to reassess who's the villain, who's the heroes in this?
No, not at this
scene?
point. I'm keeping track. Don't worry.
I haven't done anything wrong here so far. The problem
You
started because
attacked a little girl
Wait a minute. The problem
with a
was
knife.
you said your claws grew out of your hand, and then I asked the question later, said, did they actually grow? And he says no,
No.
it wasn't literal. And I did, so I was rolling as if you turned into a monster. So it was your own fault for saying it. You
But it's
said
the
it.
middle
No,
of
you
melee.
wanted us to.
It's
to
the
said
be-
middle of melee though, so these things can get confusing on purpose. That happens. That's a bonus number of 6, Ko.
You're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a psycho.
I'm gonna. I might as well. I don't want to be captured. I'll just go with because I might need it. 19, 6 plus. Oh god, unarmed combat's 8 plus 19.
19 versus an 11, 13. So you hit with currently at least 1 bonus dice to damage. Unless anyone is doing anything about that.
Can we do anything? What?
You can.
You can.
I'm not going to up his anything.
The other silly card, you silly person. You.
Oh right, that one. What are you actually stabbing him
He's stabbing Juro. At the moment, he's looking like he's going to
No, I'm
stab
not.
Juro.
with a knife, or
I'm
are
not
you?
stabbing Churio. I haven't got the knife.
Yes, you have. It's not out of your hand.
You told me I was disarmed.
No, it was tugged on, but that's why you're stymied. It didn't. You kept your grip.
Bummer. Okay, I didn't know that because it's different if I was doing the other way. It's
Well, if you have got your knife, what are you doing?
I was punching him because I said punching him.
Okay.
That's why I went on
He's
that
punching.
combat. Yeah.
So you're punching.
Yep.
Right. I
Not
can
the
wait to
evil
see how much
person
damage you
with
do
the-
anyway.
He is not the person with the claws that came out, you know.
Neither is she, but anyway.
Oh no. That's strength plus
Strength
1.
plus
10.
1.
10.
He's attacking you now, Skellen.
No, he's
not him,
attacking
Kes-
Juro. He's attacking Kerry.
All right. So,
He attacked me first. He attacked me first. I don't know why I said she.
Kerry, you take 2 shock unless you were willing to do anything about it.
What can I do?
You can soak it, but that's about it at this moment in time, unless you've got cards that enable you to do otherwise.
Get another card for in a fury from doing 2 actions.
Yeah, you get every flurry action, you get to put a card into your pool.
Ooh, okay.
So the only option you've got here, really, Kerry, is to soak it or just take the shock. He's only punched you.
Oh, so that's in play a possibility.
Yeah.
I'll take the shock.
Okay, take 2 shock. Juro, what are you doing?
I'm trying and restrain Kasuki again.
Okay, you're trying to try him again. Okay, he's no longer very vulnerable because that expired with his action, but go ahead.
What's approved at the moment?
Taunt.
I'm rubbish at that. Okay, I'll just try and bear him down to the ground. Plus,
That's a +3 at the moment. He does seem to be quite agile, I'll tell you that.
yeah, I don't have many options. I'd get 14.
Well, you can always increase it from a 16 to at least a 26 with a possibility if you decide to.
Oh yeah, actually I'll spend this the card that acts as a possibility.
You're spending a hero card. Cool.
Yeah. So is that 26?
Well, you still get to roll the dice, but it's at least a 10. It's even better. It's a 14. You can also elect to spend a personal possibility should you wish.
Yeah, right.
You're currently on a bonus number of 9.
Okay.
go for it.
Hope he
Beat
doesn't have
down.
another opponent fail. Yeah.
If you're around a table, you'd be able to see because it'd be down in front of him. So
But if you get 20 and then a 10, then
it could be funny, a glory card
get
to restrain
60.
another member of it.
Yeah. Okay, what did I get?
Well, you need to roll again. You got a 16 and a 14, then roll the third dice, yeah?
What? Why am I rolling so? Okay, I don't understand this one.
Basically, every time you spend a possibility, you get to roll the dice again and add.
Oh, yeah.
And you can spend 1 from your personal pool, 1 as a drama card, 1 from a hero card. So that's a bonus number of 47. So not a 60, but a 47 nonetheless. That's a 13 to your skill.
So 24.
24, and I believe that Ko's unarmed combat. Although he has arms, so he can use melee weapons as defense. So that's a 12, but it's still 10 over. Okay, Ko, you punch the chubby security guard, who, belying his size and bulk, proceeds to just lively step back, grabs your punching arm under the shoulder, puts a deft twist, and then before you know what's going on, he's got you in a full Nelson, and then you hear the zip tie, and both of your arms are now securely zipped behind your back.
Is it possible to use a reality check to stop this?
Do you have any abilities that allow you to do that? For instance, you may have had... Oh, no, you're not Core Earth, so you can't. Your only options at this point, essentially, the zip tie is putting a strength 15 grapple on you. But you can attempt to get out on each of your goes.
Which cosm are we in right this minute in time?
You are currently in Pacifica. The Pacifica world rules, laws, and
that's what I'm
axioms
looking
apply.
at. Okay, because I'm keeping vengeance in mind here.
That's good. Keep it in mind. I will tell you, though, that vengeance only if you do it in an act subsequent to the one where it took place, but you have to keep these things in mind. So well done. Have a possibility for still keeping in with the situation, because I know you won't get one for pulling out the vengeance.
When you're not playing the same character next week.
Yeah, that's
you can't just start stabbing during the war. carry him
Skeleton.
back.
What is the voice of calm son doing as Kazuki basically resists being zip tied a couple of times by Juro, then goes to punch Juro, who just takes it on the chin and just seems to not react, and then just grabs the guy's arm and in a flurry of motion, which is obviously from his years of experience as a security guard, he's basically zip tied both Ko's arms behind his back.
So he's zip tied now, as he
He is zip tied, yes. His legs aren't restrained, but his arms are restrained behind his back.
Okay, what's Ginny doing now?
Ginny is lying crumpled, looking quite uncomfortably. She's not fallen down, she's been pushed down, and basically her limbs have just tied up under her. So she's almost in a seated position, but her body's being held downwards as well.
Ayaka's giving her the evil eye.
Ayaka is staring at her intently with a red blood dripping out of her left nostril.
Wearing a little few clothes.
Yes, her blouse was ripped off by Ko.
Okay, I'll go up to Ginny Tut, and I'll sort of put her top back on her, or around her, or whatever.
You drape it over her. You find in your action you try and move her arms, and they're not moving, they're being held down by something stronger than you are.
Okay, I'll drape it over her then, and see, is she calmed down any, or is she still...
Are you calmed down any?
I don't think I am. I think I've got to cause a wound.
Okay, I'm going to...
and I didn't, did I? I did.
Well, I'm presuming Ayaka can't continue her evil stare, definitely, I have no idea. So I'm going to... I'll take some of Juro's ties, and I'll go and bind Ginny's hands. Those vicious nails.
Okay. You probably have to catch Ayaka's eye in order to do it, and Ayaka, you're able to just concentrate slightly, and the arms moved. Because of her position, you can't really pull them up behind her back. You've got to do them in front, but her arms are crossed over in front of her, and you zip.
Okay, failing that, I was going to get some nail clippers and cut her nails. Alright, no, I won't.
Okay, no, that's cool. I will have actually calmed. But you can still but I'm obviously in a weird position. So it's probably hard to tell I've calmed.
Okay, well...
I'm not screaming and shouting at you.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing you've noticed.
The grumpier of the two older men is that it? Are you done? You will bring everything down upon us.
What happened, Jenny? What are you feeling alright now? What come into you?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
You were bitten or clawed earlier, as you've not been right since then.
I didn't mean any of it. I am sorry. So sorry. I did not mean to hurt you.
I'm sorry, perhaps we should leave you restrained for the time being. I'm worried that injury you had earlier is having a bad effect on you.
I think you are right. Oh, hang on. You might not be right.
The others in the group, Makoto, sort of nods. Yes. Put her over, and basically he helps, and if somebody else assists him, and they'll drag Ginny off to one side. The businessman is sort of standing and wandering over to Ko. What was his excuse then? He's gesturing towards you, Ko, but he seems to be addressing Juro.
He's just out of control.
I'm going to say, with Ko's arms behind his back, you are more than able to remove the flick knife from his possession. What's Ko doing at this point, by the way?
Glaring.
Okay.
Glaring at the injustice that is happening to him.
I
Try to kill the
also-
crazy vampire monster that was brewing over there.
Police oppression, that's what it is.
That's what
I
it is.
must say, what is his name, Ko? And he pours out a drink. I must say, Ko, I thank you for the entertainment. And he lifts the cup to your lips, and drunkenly like tips it towards your mouth. If you're not drinking it, it goes all the way down
Oh,
you.
I'll drink it.
If you are, it's strong sake.
Even though my character's age doesn't say.
You're a young ganger. You're probably 16, 17. Probably
Oh.
no older than that.
Just Big Brother. That's all I got. Went, well, who my brother of? That's what I wonder.
The rest of the gang. That's what they call you. You're probably you're probably like 17, 18. You'd be the one in the gang that's closest to adulthood. The rest of them are probably between 15 to 17. But all of them younger than you are, certainly.
Yeah.
You settle down. Calm, overcoming the adrenaline as it slowly beats back. And there's a nervous 5 to 10 minutes when literally every single sound puts you all on edge as you think, have we attracted the hordes to us? We've got no idea. But things do appear to be quiet. Couple of hours pass. It's now, some of you might have been able to nod off for 30 minutes or so.
Sorry, can we do anything?
Yeah, you can. You can, in that time, you can decide to do something else if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to find some supplies in the temple.
Okay. You can look around. It's not a problem at all. You are aware, and again, Yaka, you know the layout of this place quite well. So you could easily guide anybody to the museum within the shrine, or to the dojo, which, as I said, is in the outlying buildings of the shrine complex.
Right. I take him around and sort of.
So you and Juro pair off and wander off.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Ko's asking if he can be loosened. He needs the toilet. Is this before or after Juro leaves? After. Cool. Thought so. And Ginny is requesting a blanket because she's cold. If nobody replies to Ginny's request, Makoto is more than happy to. Basically, there aren't any blankets, but he does lay his coat over you. He seems to be fathering you at this point. He sees you've been through a lot, and he's like, "Oh, is there any drinking?" And he's getting you drinks, and asking if you want anything to eat.
I'll let him do it. Yeah, she scares me.
I thank you. I sorry for before. It is cold in here though, without my top on.
Yeah. He puts his hand to your forehead. And goes, "Oh, you're ice cold."
I think it is the excitement. But yes, I am.
Okay. He fusses about you for the next 20 minutes or so. His son, who's probably the only other person to, son could reply to Ko's request to take him to the toilet. Akira just, for the trouble you cause, you can stand there and sit in your own filth for all I care. His friend Yusai goes, "Oh, Akira, how can you be so? I can take you if nobody else will. But I do not think anyone wishes to have your arms released." And Ken sits back down, and he's probably about 2/3 of the way through the bottle. Makoto readjusts Ginny, no problem at all. The people that are looking around, it's very dark outside. There's not much sound coming from the woods around you, but every so often, even this far away with all the tree cover, you can still hear the odd scream or gunshot from somewhere off in the distance. Are you going to the dojo first or to the museum?
Dojo.
Yeah, dojo.
Okay.
I'd like to find a weapon and a big sheet and something to write with.
Okay, so you're looking for weapons in the dojo. Okay, can you both please make me stealth checks as you head to the rear of the shrine and find the rear gate? You cooperate with each other and you unlock the gate, and there's a grinding noise from. Are you going with them as well, son, or are you staying with them?
I'll go with him.
Okay, so it's the NPCs with Co and Ginny looking after them. Excellent.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Put it back into your hand. The combat's over.
Go back up the
Uh,
floor.
Actually, I'm saying that
No, you don't refresh at this point.
I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to stay back.
Okay, no problem at all. Even
Aw.
better. Excellent. Okay, Juro, can you make a stealth check? Unless you're not trying to open the gate quietly.
Right, yeah, I am trying to.
Okay, so stealth, please. Roll again and add. Even if you haven't got the skill, you always roll again on 10s.
Ooh, 8 plus 9, 17.
Okay, that's good enough. Basically, you watch as Ayaka starts to unlatch her side of the gate, and you hear it squeaking, and you stop her, and you just move the gate latch up and down a bit, loosening it in, and then you move it silently, and then you do the top one silently as well, and the gate is open. There is a gravel path going through the wooded grounds. Ayaka, you know that probably no more than about 150 meters up this path is the dojo. It's part of the outer complex. So you both cautiously make your way in that direction. I'm correct in cautious. You're not rushing or doing anything foolish, no?
No.
Okay. We'll just pull a drama cards to show the passage of time, and for flavour, ignore the skill line. You are on the run. However, you're not running far. Ahead of you, shaded in darkness, however, is the dojo building. There's no particular security here. There isn't a major problem with theft. So you're able to make your way in. You find your way to the equipment room. There's a brief wrestle from Juro on there. There is a lock, but your security training is enough. You're able to just like pop it. It's a relatively cheap lock on the equipment room. And within here, there are various practice weapons, mostly blunt, but some sharp. So you can decide if you want a sharpened kendo or a blunt, like rattan kendo stick. Regardless of what you take, it's strength plus 2 damage. And there are also suits of kendo armor, which, if you wear them, will provide plus 2 armor to the torso.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
And making it a triple success while you're grabbing kendo armor from the lockers. There are also at least 3 bath towel sized towels in each of the lockers. So you're able to get enough toweling material that you might be able to attach it together to make a reasonably large sized thing you could paint a sign on.
Okay. I'll also try and take whatever I can carry for other people, some weapons.
Okay, well, one of you is going to carry all the towels. The other one can probably carry an additional 2 suits of kendo armor, and maybe one other like kendo weapon, or maybe two more kendo weapons. And yes, I'm assuming Juro has the contraband weapon on his person. Yeah.
Yes.
Ko, the old man Yusai, takes you to the toilet. He assists you undoing your belt and averts his eyes and steps back. You're in Japan. It's a reasonably well appointed place. You have one of those high-tech toilets. If you
Still
wish
works?
to actually go to the toilet. Yeah, the toilet's fine.
Oh, right, okay. I'm not used to the world where things work still. Okay, I can't actually do anything, can I? I can't actually break out of a zip tie.
You can make an attempt, but it is going to be a strength 5 versus a strength 15 grapple, and you're considered very vulnerable, very stymied, because
Am
of
I
the
still?
position of because of the position of your hands. Anything with your arms behind you, you're going to be very stymied. If you were zip tied at the front, it'd be easier to get out, but you've been zip tied with your hands behind your back.
Can I do that thing where you jump up in the air and then sort of suddenly in the front?
You can
Oh, I
try.
can't do that now because my trousers are down my ankles. I just realised.
Yeah, I was about to say, you might want to do that after your trousers have been pulled back up. Still no phone signal, though. The phone is working. Anyone who's got a phone, it is working. All of the apps are fine, unless the app needs an external signal to work.
Mm.
So just give me 2 seconds. My headset battery just went bleep, bleep, bleep. I just need to change it very quickly.
Right. This guy's going to get a knee in the skull once he gets my trousers up.
Do you need a shake?
I didn't go. Did you say I had the girly?
There you go, back.
Right. I told him I can't go, and can he pull up my trousers? And when he pulls up my trousers, I knee him in the head.
Give us, you're trying to probably trick him into that. So just make a trick
leave
check.
him around his ankles. Make it hard to run away.
No, I'm not running away. I says I want him to pull my trousers up, and then when my trousers are up, I was going to hit him. So
Yeah, it's the I can't go now, maybe later pull up my trousers ploy that you've got to. It's okay. He's a trusting old man. Your difficulties aren't high.
What is that? Because I don't have trick.
You don't have trick. Oh well, I believe trick's off of charisma.
Oh, okay, Christmas.
Could be wrong. It could be off of mind, but
In this case, he's right.
14. It's 1. That's 7. 7.
He looks at you. It's okay. You can take your time. I myself have issues in this area. Think of running water. It will come. I will give you privacy. And he steps back and the cubicle door closes.
Oh, God. It'd be easier just to kick the trousers off and then just do this thing.
If you want to, yeah, you can. You manage to work your jeans down. It's a bit difficult, but you manage to work your denim down over your feet.
Oh.
That's not a problem. So you're now nude from the waist down. You're trying to do that whole. You're trying to just pull your arms down and do the jump up. I'm going to say, yeah, that's going to be possible. There isn't actually an acrobatic skill, which I think is one of the things they've neglected, but it's going to be dexterity based.
Maneuver would it?
It's going to be maneuver if you've got it. It's going to be difficult. Though. I'm going to say you're needing, and this was quite tough zip ties. You're going to be getting the very stymied condition on this, and it would normally be a 15. It would normally be quite a difficult roll.
So I have to go for 15?
Yeah, but you're on a -4 as well, so it actually takes up to a 19 if we take that simply in there.
Ooh.
It's a bonus number of 8.
Possibility time.
Hang on. I said it was a 19, yeah? You needed.
Yeah.
Your maneuver is 1. Your dex is 11. That gives you a 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. That exceeds the difficulty number. Why spend a possibility?
Because I didn't understand.
Take your possibility back.
Okay.
It's not necessarily. It's not necessarily the single smooth motion sort of Jackie Chan attempt. You get one leg out, and then you're in an awkward situation where your arms are out and one leg's over. But you're just pulling your arms up out of you. You still got the zip ties in your hands. When you hear a thud outside,
Bugger, I put my trousers back on. I think running around naked is not going to be a great thing for me to do.
please make me a find check as you're fumbling down for your trousers.
Oh, I thought you said
this isn't to find your trousers.
Oh, it's not well endowed.
It's not to find your trousers or anything that should be contained there.
What?
It's an environmental awareness roll.
Where's find?
It's off of mind if you don't have it.
I don't have anything. It's not combat related. That's not bad.
That's a not bad roll.
9
Okay.
cards.
As you're reaching down, you freeze slightly as from outside the cubicle, you heard the thud. You also hear a sort of a noise. Very similar, in fact, to a noise you heard earlier this evening by a noodle bar.
John, my character's now realised he can actually go to the loo now.
I think you'll find you've already just gone to the loo.
Ayaka and Juro, you're on your way back by now.
Yeah. I'm guessing.
As you're coming back in through the gate, both of you please make me find checks as well. Oh, the good rolls are coming out now.
Yay. 20 for me.
Okay. Juro, you're probably not spotting this on the 6.
Yeah.
Ayaka, 2 things happen to you. The first thing is you have a vision of a swing door that slams open, and you have a vision of an alarmed Co looking out of the cubicle. And as you snap out, you just happen to look up as you're passing the gate, and you see a black bloody handprint on the inner edge of one of the gate doors that you are absolutely certain was not there before. Now, we're going into combat rounds for Co's benefit, but also for passage of time for the rest of you, okay?
I'm going to do something really, really stupid, but I want to do it because I need to leave at 10. Ta-da!
Why do you think I wasn't too worried about you going to the toilet on your own?
I played the card.
Okay. Right then. That changes things slightly.
You all get a possibility, guys.
Everybody gets a possibility.
Thank you.
Yay.
Right. You're standing with your trousers in hand, Co.
Yep.
When the cubicle to your toilet door slams open. The thing that pushes it open is very similar in look to the thing you encountered by the noodle bar earlier on. It's the same stiff look, gaunt, pallid, taut features. Behind it on the floor, you see the body of Yusai Fujimoto with his throat ripped out. Before you can react, though, something strange happens. Firstly, but probably of secondary importance to you, the body of Yusai begins to twitch. However, the figure in front of you begins, and it's quite quick, but its arms begin to snap and turn and twist. Its head, the jaw, suddenly pops forward and elongates. It grows about 3 or 4 feet in height. Its skin, which was revealed as as all its muscle mass grows and rips off any clothing it previously had on it, is bone white. Its forearms crack as they elongate about another 2 or 3 feet each, and the fingers on each arm, you watch like mesmerized as the bones just begin to burst and jut out of them into razor sharp claws. While you don't know, this is called a yokai. And before you get a chance to move, it lunges forward its claws outstretched. What's your unarmed combat? Remember, you're not very vulnerable with your hands tied. You're just
13.
okay. In that case, it spends a possibility.
Can I play Fists of Fury?
Oh, friggin' hell.
So that's a 48. Give us a bonus number of 13.
I'm glad I did this, you know.
13, hang on. I wasn't expecting to get this thing stats up this early, but hey, that's the way it goes. Well timed. Good timing, Derek. Good story sense. Well done.
Oh, I wanted to see what the upgrade is before I leave, so...
If you were going to survive beyond this, I'd award you a possibility. In fact, you have a possibility for doing that. Right, that was a 48. 48 is a bonus number of 13. That gives it an unarmed combat total of 28. What's your unarmed combat?
My unarmed combat's still 13.
So 28, that's 15 over, so it gets 2 bonus dice of damage.
Hopefully we can do this thing I don't understand next, which is good. Yeah.
What, the soak?
No, it's the toughness and the armor, because I've never had anyone with toughness and armor. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 8 onto its claw damage, gives us a 26.
I've got 10 toughness, 1 armor.
So basically, your toughness is, your armor is a 1, so that adds on to your strength. Your toughness is 9 plus 1 for the armor, gives you a 10. So what did I just say? That was a 26. That's 16 result points of damage, which is 3 wounds and 6 shock.
Guess who's doing a reality check? Well, can I do a reality check? Say yes.
Oh, you can try.
Okay, because I couldn't do it last time. I was just making sure.
So its difficulty is 10, and if you get a 10, you reduce 1 wound and all the shock. 15, 2 wounds, all the shock. 20, all wounds, all shock.
So, sorry, say that again. What if the target is?
Target's 10s. So your spirit is an 8 plus your reality of 1. That's a 9. So that's a 15, yeah?
Okay, so I need more to get less. Right. Okay, I'll use a possibility again.
Okay, don't forget you spent a possibility initially to do the soak. So you're now spending a possibility. No, you can spend a possibility on the roll as well.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was... Oh, okay. That's a 10.
That makes it a 19. A 29, sorry. So that's a bonus number of 9 instead. Still not enough to take you to the 20.
I think 29. 29 is 9.
Because you're on an 18. So you were 2 points shy of the 20.
I'll stay with this. I don't want to use it.
So 1 wound
can you use lots of possibilities on this?
No, if you've got cards, you can,
Yeah.
but you can only spend 1 possibility on the roll. Please roll me a d6.
Okay. 1.
Probably won't last very long, but if you survive the fight, you're exhibiting those symptoms. There's no noise of the fight yet, so what is Co doing in response? You are up this round on your go, so you'll get additional rolls. Although, sorry, I'm skipping something here. Please make me a willpower or spirit test.
Co?
I'm looking for willpower, but I don't see it. So
it's a skill. If you haven't got it, it's just spirit.
Okay, spirit there. 16. It's 3 plus 11.
Okay, it was only difficulty 10s, so you managed to overcome the fear that's threatening to shut down your system at the sight of this thing.
Yeah.
And it's your go. What are you doing?
Okay, I have to look up multi-actions. Multi-actions declare all actions. Okay, what actions have I got? Have I got run and run? or 2 different types of run?
Problem you've got at the moment, you're standing in the toilet cubicle. This thing is blocking the door of the toilet cubicle. So you'd have to probably do a maneuver to get past it, and then if you were successful in that, and by successful I mean 10 over the difficulty, you'd be able to just run away from it.
I am going to do 2 things. I am going to do that first thing called a maneuver, and I'm going to do the second thing is run away, because that'll give me multiple actions.
Okay. If they're successful, any multi-action gives you a card this round.
Don't say negatives, please. We're all positive here. We were positive until you started talking. Right, I'll use a possibility. Okay, this is -2 to the thing anyway. So, 16. That's 3. And maneuver 4. 15.
You get 1 point over its maneuver, so you can decide to stymie it or make it vulnerable, but you cannot get past it. Did you
I'll
roll the
make
dice the second time? Because you're up. That's what up means. Anything you do on your action, you get another roll.
Oh, I didn't roll again. Right, okay.
So you got a 6 on the first one. You spent a did you spend a possibility, or did
Yep.
you just roll?
Yeah.
So you're on 16 at the moment, but you've got an additional roll. Make sure you get these. Okay, doesn't count as a possibility. I don't think 17 makes much of a difference. No, you equal it. By you over by 2. Yeah, still. Do you want to make it vulnerable or stymied?
I want to make it the one where it doesn't hurt me.
That would be stymied.
Yep. And that means I can't run past it.
No, but you can do something else as your multi-action because you did take the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, did you take the -2 penalty on that maneuver check?
No.
Okay, you still equaled it. It was a success. So what you're doing with your aborted multi-action?
Trying to look for something in this whole thing. Can't do active defense.
Well, I'll tell you what. You could use your move to, let's say, give me a strength check, and that'll enable you to scramble over the flimsy intervening cubicle wall into the cubicle next door.
Strength check. That come up? Was that a 4?
That was a 4.
13.
No, 4 on the dice. That's a -6.
Damn it. Okay, I got mixed up. Yeah. 4 is -6. Minus my strength is 3. I'll use a possibility. This is a different roll. And I have to do -2 on this, which I forgot about.
So you're on a 19 now, which is a bonus number of 6. Give it a 4 because of your -2. So 4 onto your strength.
That's 13 again. This right. We're back. We're back where we were.
Okay. It was only going to be a 10. So you managed to clamber up, and you've got a brief moment of respite as you're in the cubicle next door. You thump to the ground. The cubicle door's open, but you're too winded from the drop to move anywhere this go.
Can't be a card cost. Do I get a card?
You did successfully did a multi-action. Okay. So I will give you. I've lost where I'm going. This over here. No.
Okay. What about the rest of us? Do we get to do anything?
Well, at the moment you're not aware there's a combat, so you guys are heading back. Oh yeah, you know something's up.
I've got the because I've got the what is it?
You had the precog thing.
Yeah, but also the perk that.
Situational awareness. You can play a card in your pool
to play alertness, which means
sure.
I'm aware of.
How do we get? How have we got cards into our pool already?
Oh, because you had a combat, but you've not put them back. You should all have, unless you've got a perk that says otherwise. Currently, you should have no cards in your pool and all the cards in your hand.
Are we pooling them even though we're not in combat per turn?
Sort of, but you've only had the first combat turn at this point. Once you guys are aware there's a conflict going on, you will be able to put stuff into your pool. Ayaka's got a perk called Situational Awareness, which she's always able to start a conflict with a card in her pool already. And Badger's put Alertness in, which I'm assuming he's going to play in order to allow himself to note that something's up.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know, hear a sound or something from the. It's probably making a bit of noise.
Well, what you actually notice is your eyes are drawn to the black bloody handprint on the gate, and then you note, because as I said, the place is all gravel in this central quarter. You notice your footsteps, mine are in the gravel, but you notice ahead of you, heading back to the building you came from, there's a set of footprints that is like a foot and then a dragged foot, a foot and then a dragged foot, heading in the direction you are heading.
Okay.
So you're pretty certain something from outside got in and it's in the building heading for.
Okay, I sort of stop. I sort of signal that Jiro should do the same thing, point towards the footprints and say, "I think someone's here."
It's clear what she's indicating, Jiro.
Um,
Something's got in.
he says, "Come on," and follows the track.
If you're now running, which you can do, you
Yeah.
can get to the office complex. It's not a huge area here, and you can run 3 times your dexterity in a single round. So you're talking about 30 or 40 meters covered. Son, what are you and Ginny doing? Yusei and Ko are not yet back from the toilet.
I'm also.
I know why Ginny's not saying anything. Son, what are you doing? Skellen.
I don't know. Have I heard something? Have I?
No, you haven't. Actually, give me a find check. It's going to be an heroic result, so you'll hear something if you get an 18 or more. You did just roll a 10.
And I don't. Oh, I don't have fine, so I roll it again.
Oh, you always roll again on a 10. It's only if you're on a 20 that you. Only if you're skilled. So that's a 25. That gives you an 8.
8 plus mine plus fine is another 11, so 19.
19, and I said you needed an 18. You notice 2 things. The first is the absence of some noise. And the absence of that noise is Ginny's breathing.
Okay.
The second thing you hear is echoing from further away. There is the sound of a door being slammed open.
Oh my god, Ginny's a vampire. Okay, well, I'm going to look around for something I can use for a stake. Is there a bit of...
Yeah, you can find something. So that's your go. You're looking for something sharp and
a
pointy.
chair leg or something.
Yeah,
you know.
fine. You panic and grab a chair and snap it, and you have something in your hand. You notice one other thing as well, son. You can smell smoke.
Uh-oh.
Right. So next round.
Wait, I didn't get an action, did I?
Oh, so you were explaining, and you're not running. You're not moving.
I'm running, but I also want to, since I've got the opportunity, I want to use awareness.
Sure. You want to use you're using the actual situational awareness one? Okay, that's the one that gives you defensive buff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get up, so I roll twice.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, son, you would have got another roll on that because you were all up this round. So I forgot to remind you.
That's 20. That's a 9 to my 2 precognition, which is 14. So 20.
I think that's probably the superior, the extraordinary, the 10 over the difficulty result.
Yep.
And that has the effect of making it a +2 and longer, or is it +1 but a wider range?
Let's see. I think it's a +2.
Okay, the scene now switches to dramatic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, hang on.
20 meters.
That's annoying. It keeps. I've got a bad link on this. I think Lucky Break, the card, is coming up with the action card, not the drama card. Hang on a second. It's their stupidness. They've made 2 of the cards the same name. Not that one. Drama deck. Lucky Break. No, it's that one. Right, I'm going to find it. We're going to use the right one because we've never had Lucky Break before now, and it might help you guys out. If it doesn't, then hey. Cards. Custom table tents, Destiny map, threat cards. Cards. Armor deck. Right, I won't have an image for this one, but I will explain it if I can actually find it. Okay, Lucky Break in the dramatic line. The approved actions are attack and taunt, by the way. In the dramatic line, heroes have an inspiration and they go first. Villains go second. And yeah, it's an Edwardian-looking gentleman. Funnily enough, these things always look appropriate. Wielding a stake in his left hand after just having opened a coffin. So in the inspiration round, can anybody remember what inspiration does? I don't have to remind you. Okay, you all immediately recover 2 shock. At this point, you have not recovered your shock because you've not really had a chance to rest. Things accelerated a bit more. If anyone is unconscious, they wake up as part of that recovery. So everyone recover 2 shock. But you all do go first. Who is going first?
What card are you looking at? Because I don't see a card.
It's the Lucky Break card. Unfortunately, the link is to a Destiny deck card, not a Drama deck card.
Oh, okay.
I've had to read it out from the original PDF.
Right. So,
How much shock should we have? Sorry.
You have shock equal to your spirit stat. If you have certain perks, you might get some more.
Nope, that's fine. I'm at full.
Is what's the approved action?
Attack and or taunt.
Okay. Are we even within range of the?
You can't see what's happening yet. In this round, because you ran last round, you get to the door of the office block. I'm going to say that this is one of those office blocks where on the main corridor, the toilet is off the main corridor. So you would head down the corridor to the left to the break room, but the restrooms are on the left and right. Left is the ladies, to the right is the men's. So you've got a reasonable size reception, corridor heading back with a door to the toilets on each side of the wall, and beyond that, off to the left is the recreation room where the others are gathering. Also at the end of that corridor, there's a set of stairs that lead upwards.
You can't hear anything.
It's a bit difficult because I'm not sure what's going on in that round. But let's say, yeah, give me a find check to see what you can hear, if anything, or smell, or hear, or spot. Juro, you can't see shit. Pardon my French, but you rolled a 1.
You could probably smell shit. Somebody's farted.
I'm not sure Ayaka's seeing much more with a -4. Find?
Well, find is that puts me as an 8. No, wait. No, it's actually still a 10.
Yeah, it's not difficult. It's 10s at this point because it's a bit difficult. Don't worry, we're going to say your action is delayed a little bit. You just come because you're a little unawares. You're not acting first. Co, what are you doing?
I'm running for it because I'm in a different stall and you didn't get the move.
Sure. That makes sense because, yep, I'm going to let you... Yeah, you can run.
But you can't hide.
You can't hide, but that is interesting. So essentially you're running. So you're able to... you run past the thing as it's back to you. You run past it and you run over the twitching body of Yusei Fujimoto.
Do I see anyone ahead of me?
Well, you've got a door out of the toilets ahead of
Oh, right, okay. Obviously go out the door.
Okay,
Is that an action to open the door?
no, you can run out, but you get into the foyer out the corridor outside. You can't go any further though. So Juro and Ayaka's first alert to anything going on is the half-naked, still zip-tied Ko Watanabe running out of the men's toilets into the middle of the room with an absolute look of shock and horror on his face. And he is bottom down naked.
I start. What? So he's not wearing any like underwear now?
No, because he was on the toilet.
Okay. I start.
How often do you sit on the toilet and keep your underwear? Doesn't go for good hygiene?
Right.
I'm assuming he isn't still holding his trousers in his other hand.
No. Drop them.
You dropped them before you had to clamber over the thing.
I start laughing uncontrollably and also blush.
What's
And
going-
maybe squirt even more like blood out of my nose.
I shout, Kasuke, what have you done? Assuming he's responsible for everything.
Okay. Ko, you can say something if you were mute.
It's so cold. Help! It's after me.
Oh, that's a good point. He has. Yeah, he's got a big bloody gash going down his left thigh.
Oh, that's not so funny then.
You still had one wound, didn't you?
But did I not take it off? Okay.
What did this to you?
It's only a 10-second combat round, guys. You can't have a long conversation.
I did my
Okay.
conversation.
Yeah, I know you did.
Okay.
So, Ayaka, what are you doing? Juro, what are you doing?
Well, if we can't see the thing, I don't know. Is there any?
Oh, by the way, the two of you, even without making a roll, you can see the black, bloody footprints leading towards the toilet that Ko has just run out of.
Right. Will there be a way for me to trick the thing that's in there, even if I don't really know?
No, because you don't really know, as you say.
Yeah.
You're unaware of the target or what it's doing.
Okay, but I know that.
You know something's gone on because you had your vision, but you've got no idea. But it went on in the toilet, but all you know is door opened, look of shock on Ko's face. Juro, what are you doing while Ayaka's thinking?
And when the door opened, we couldn't see inside. Like there was a monster in there.
No, because it's off to one side and in the cubicle. You'll see in a minute. Don't worry.
Well, I'm going to run towards where we were all assembled in the hope of.
Sure, you
mastering
can
the
get
French.
past. That's not a problem. You can get past. Yeah.
I'm either going to follow him or use. Well, I mean, if I haven't already used my move.
No, because this was you ended your go at the door, and then the first thing this round is you just then opened the door and gone in, so you've still got your move.
Okay, so I'm going to do active defense, I think.
Okay, sure. Generate a bonus number, please.
Can you spend possibilities on those?
Of course you can.
Okay.
It's a minimum bonus number of 1, regardless of the roll, but that's after you've finished your total roll.
Yeah.
So you could leave it at a 2 and still have a bonus number of 1 without spending.
Yeah, I'm going to spend possibility.
Okay. Do you have dodge? Actually, it's an awkward one here. You don't actually know what you're coming up against. It's going to be your unarmed combat or melee. You're not armed, are you, at the moment?
No. But
Okay, you've got dodge and unarmed, so that's good enough. You're not melee, so you roll again on the 20 then. So that's a 28, giving you a bonus number of 9 should something attempt to attack you.
And that's plus the 2 I already have.
Yeah, it's on top of.
It's a 9, yeah. Cool.
Okay, but it does mean you can't run, so you're sort of more calmly moved. So you're sort of at the same position as Ko at that point. Theater of the Mind. Well, Juro just ran past you, and Ayaka has just sort of like moved up to your position.
Yeah,
so you're within like 2 feet of each other.
Is Juro ran towards it or
past you?
Yeah, past me because I'm running
into the building.
Okay. When you said past me, I thought you meant he was
Yeah,
running
he's not gone
towards
into the toilet. No, he's run
Okay.
past you and further on. Son, what are you doing?
I'm going to move over to Jin. I'm going to have my newfound steak in one hand and sort of approach her cautiously. I'm going to. Is she got her eyes open? Is she looking angrily at me or something? Thirstily?
Ginny, are your eyes open or closed? Up to you.
Yeah, they're still open, but not
Her eyes
looking
are
anywhere.
open and the pupils are fixed. Have you got a first aid ad? I think you have, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
They are fixed and they are dilated.
Okay, I'm curious that she's. I'm going to put my hand on her neck, I guess, see if I can feel a pulse.
You do.
First aid stuff.
Yeah, you do. You do quick base first aid. She's not breathing. You can't get a pulse.
Does she look?
She's cold to the touch.
Oh, does she look like CPR might help her, or do you think does it look like?
You can try.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, literally, this is about 20-30 seconds since you noticed she wasn't breathing.
Okay.
She's gonna wake up and bite you.
That's not very good.
Easy difficulty number on this one.
Okay.
It's only 8, but what did you get?
That was a 7 minus 2. First aid comes off my mind, I bet, does it?
Yep.
So that is a 10 minus 2 is 8. How good is that?
Okay, you.
Do
you
I want a
administer
higher number than that?
CPR. No, you need that
Okay.
number. You administer CPR, and breath catches, and her eyes blink and flick, and they're suddenly responsive.
Jenny, what happened?
It went it went all cold. I don't know, dark.
Okay.
Are we free?
Meanwhile, in the men's convenience,
Or in this case,
Ayaka
convenience.
and Co. There is a wrecking, crashing noise from behind you. Ayaka, I need you to make a spirit or willpower check if you have it, as the creature I described previously to Co. White skin, long clawed fingers, and naturally long forearms and ankles. The bony jaw rips out of the bottom of its once human face.
5, that's not very good, but have I got... no. So yeah, that's a 6.
Okay, you are very stymied because this thing is scary. And it charges out and swipes at both of you. And spends a possibility. It's at least a 10. It's a bonus number of 22. Oh, sorry, a bonus number of 22, which gives it a bonus number of 8. So we'll do it on Co first. Co, unarmed combat 23 versus your unarmed combat defense. What did you get?
My combat defense is 13.
23 versus 13. Okay, so it does hit you with 2 bonus dice of damage. Ayaka, what's your unarmed combat defense? Should be higher because you recently did an active defense. I still think it's getting through though.
It's actually, well, if it's 9 by default, and then it's plus 9 plus 2, so it's actually 20.
Wow, it might have just missed you.
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on, no, what am I talking about? It was no, it didn't just miss you. It rolled a 26, didn't it? A 22, sorry. 8 onto 15, 23. Takes it down to a 21 for the multi-action. It hit you by 1. So one of you gets its full claw damage. The other one gets claw damage plus 2 bonus dice. So I'll roll the bonus dice. So Co, you take 22 damage versus your toughness.
Toughness 10.
That's 12, so that's 10 over. So that is 2 wounds and 4 shock.
Reality check.
Go for it. You're spending your last one, yeah, to roll again and add.
No, that was my last one. A reality check, you have to spend one to use it.
Good point. Yep. I thought you had 2 left at that point. You only had 1 left. Okay.
No, only one left. 12.
That's a 0 on your reality skill.
9.
That's a total of 9, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. The first thing that happens, Ayaka,
I'll give him a possibility to roll.
you're not within line of sight.
Can I add cards to
really?
this roll?
Have you got any cards that could add?
Action cards. I've got an action card.
Action would help because it is an action check. So you could add 3, which would put you at 12, which means you've at least succeeded. You're not going to soak all of it, and it might be a Pyrrhic attempt, but you're going to go down fighting.
Can I phone him? Then
Nope.
I'm in verbal. I'm in verbal.
Because even if you could quickly send a text message, remember the phone signal doesn't work.
So how much damage do I take with that?
Right, so you got a 12, so that's a standard success. You reduce it by 1 wound. You take no shock, but you do take 2 wounds.
I thought it was
Right.
2 wounds already.
No, it was 3 wounds, 6 shock, wasn't it?
Okay.
Or was it 2 wounds for? Oh, hang on, I'm going to have to work it out again. I thought it was a 3 on that one because you were going to go to 4 wounds.
Okay. Just let me know what it is because I can't remember.
You've used your last wound. You're on 0 wounds.
Oh, I just marked it down by 2. It was at 3 a couple of seconds ago.
No, you'd taken a wound already.
2.
You took a wound while you were in there. Yeah. So
Someone
now it
must
should be at
have-
0.
Someone changing my wounds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh,
I just said you'd have to change your phone with your face.
that's okay. I know what I'm writing the wounds in the wrong sheet. Right, okay. It's down to 2. Right, okay. And I got 2 wounds there, you say?
Yep,
That's me 0 wounds.
it does indeed.
How many
Now,
toughness? How many shock?
You got rid of all the shock. You don't take any shock. It's just the wounds.
Okay.
Right. A character's physical endurance determines how much damage she can sustain, but it's her will to live that keeps her in the fight. When a character suffers wounds beyond her maximum, you haven't done that yet, you must make an immediate standard strength or spirit test or fail. So at the moment, though, you're at... Oh, and by the way, that would have been an additional... Any rolls, additional -1 because of wound penalties. So you still managed to get the success you got. Essentially, at 0 wounds, you're still active, but you're at -3 because of all your wounds, okay?
Okay. Wait a minute.
And now with no bonus to damage, Ayaka takes a strength 18 hit. What is your toughness?
Right, I think I had the shield, which gave me an extra 2 toughness, was it?
If not that, then you could be wearing kendo armor on your body.
Yeah,
I sent you a
7
message,
yeah,
John.
no.
And
Sure,
that's-
understood.
I have to leave now, so I'll see
Yeah,
you
no
later,
worries, that's
guys.
perfect.
Okay.
See you next week.
See you next week,
Yeah,
guys.
I see.
So what's your
Michael.
toughness?
7.
That's 11 result points of damage, so you take 2 wounds and 4 shock.
Ow.
You've got a big spirit, so you can survive the shock, but not the wounds.
Yeah.
Are you soaking or are you taking it?
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't even think I'm going to soak, obviously.
Okay, spend the possibility, roll your reality skill check. Not bad. Your reality skill is an 11, I think.
Yeah, reality 1, spirit 10, so yeah.
Okay, so you soak 2 wounds and all the shocks, so take nothing.
Hmm.
So the last you dive to the side as the thing sweeps past, but as you're looking back, your eyes go to where the creature's other sets of claws are, and you see Ko with 3 bony white protrusions coming out of the front of his chest. As the creature pulls its arm back, Ko looks down, looks up, and just collapses to the floor.
Okay.
And then
Hmm?
you see the shambling figure of Yusei Fujimoto shuffle out of the toilet. And he leaps at you as well.
Ah, crap. Well, I still have my
You do.
defense at 20.
Yeah, him hitting you is a little less likely. Yep, you dodge to the side as he leaps and lands where you were, but you aren't anymore. You're 3 foot to the left or whatever, and he is moving with that strange jerky motion that you've seen exhibited by others. Everyone's had a go. Next combat round. We are still in dramatic rounds. Heroes go first. Villains are set back.
Hmm.
But it's dramatic. Attack and maneuver are the approved actions this round.
Okay, so does using the telekinesis power count as attacking?
If you attack with it.
Hmm.
Juro, you heard the commotion behind you, and you will be able to, before you get to the restroom, you can turn and see what's going on in the corridor about. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, about 30 meters behind you.
Okay, he'll turn back and join the fight.
You probably turn around in time to see Ko hit the deck.
Okay, so
And by this time, anybody in the restroom can hear things.
Is that where we are?
Yes.
right, so I'm still very stymied.
Yes, because you'll be very stymied until your next go, and this is so. But it lasts your go, so it expires at the end of your go. That's what I'm trying to say.
In which case, I'm not going to be able to hit with anything that isn't already in one of them. So I'm gonna
Get out, dodge.
yeah. Well, I mean, try the thing with if we're going to fight them, have someone else stick something in them and then use that thing to attack, if it's possible. But I don't know.
It's up to you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, well,
Just while you're there, give me a reality skill check. You're not aware of these abilities that you've recently gained, but they might give you some clues.
19. So that is
Difficulty is going to be 14. So, okay, so you made it. You're not entirely sure why you know this or what you know, but you are certain that when subconsciously you tapped into your connection with reality in order to change the outcome of the attack, you had a sense that some of the energy you spent was redirected at the creature.
oh, what?
But you can't. I mean, if you tried to explain that, you wouldn't be able to articulate it even that way.
Right. Was Jura going to try to attack?
Juro was turning to head back.
Yeah.
By the
he
way,
will-
Kerry, this thing's about 8 or 9 feet tall, so it is a bit hunched in the corridor where you are at the moment.
do I get an attack on it?
If you want to, you'd have to. If you're running back, you'd be a multi-action because you'd have to run back about 20 odd meters to get to where it is in order to attack.
All right. I'll take a -2 then.
Okay. Not a bad roll. I'm telling you now. How are you attacking this thing? Melee or unarmed?
With my sharpened stick.
No, melee.
Yeah.
Right. Your difficulties are going to be 15s to hit this guy.
Oh, I got 10 plus that roll, 6.
So you got a 15.
15.
So you hit it, but you don't do any bonus dice of damage. So your damage for I believe I told you strength +2 for those.
So do you stab it or something?
Yeah.
I mean, if it is a stab,
You're not rolling any bonus dice because you only get a bonus dice. You get 5
No.
over or 10 over its toughness. If you equal its toughness, it's just the weapon's damage.
Oh,
So-
can I use coup de grace to get the bonus die?
if it's in your pool,
Assuming I could have pulled last round.
you could have done because you were moving. So what does that make your damage total? Oh, it gives you the bonus dice, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 plus 4 plus my strength of 9.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. You bring the sharpened kendo stick, still in the wood, up, and as a well-aimed strike, you reverse it, and you bring a well-aimed strike towards the thing's just what you think would be its soft gut, and the sword just ricochets off. It seems that even under what looks like soft skin, there's something hard in the way this creature is tough.
Okay, so it's not stuck in it. In which case, I'm just going to run. Yeah, I'm going to run out of there.
Okay, so Ayaka runs, leaving Juro on his own. Cool. Sun and Jin, what are you doing? You can hear the sounds now. There's like yeah, sounds of combat.
I'm
where's
still
the-
tied up.
Unless they've unzip tied you, yes, you are still.
And where's the fire coming from? I can smell smoke.
You can smell smoke. You're not sure where the fire's coming from, but you can certainly smell smoke.
Okay, well, I'll say I'll lean over and untie Jenny.
I mean, you go down and you're going to say you've got a penknife or something. You just zip the zip ties. And Ayaka comes running into the run, shouting, Bakamano, Nigaru, which I think is demons run or monsters run.
Yeah, just monster run.
Monsters run.
Yeah, or monster like.
As you scream that, you see Makoto, Akira, and Ken look over towards the point of alarm. So at this point, you notice Ayumu's not in the room.
Where is he?
That's the
She.
Shrine Maiden.
Where is she?
Last time you saw her was when Ginny screamed at her to get away, and she backed away in fear.
Okay, I'm going to hold up my my feeble stake and curiously hold my ground, looking at what we're supposed to be running from.
Okay, Ayaka, are you running into the restroom?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I am.
You get in, and there probably is a fire exit in the room somewhere, but it's currently not open. It's one of those reasonably good affairs with the push handle will open it, and you can see there's a ring tie on it showing it hasn't been opened recently. Ginny, your arms were freed. What are you doing? I mean, obviously you're getting up.
Yeah, is anyone stymied or what's the other one?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Juro isn't outside. Ayaka is. She's currently very stymied.
I will attempt to cheer her up with a little bit of fashion sense.
Okay, so you're using helper. So please make a persuasion check.
Let's come off charisma.
It does. Charisma +3 for you, so you're 12.
So it's 12 plus 17.
Difficulty number's 10.
16. So that's a good one. So I get removed 2.
Yep, a standard success eliminates 1 condition. Good eliminates 2, and outstanding removes every.
So if you're very stymied, that gets rid of both.
Yeah, Ayaka, you come in screaming, and Ginny stands up and just tells you some completely incongruous advice about, oh, you know something? It would really look good if you put purple streaks in your hair. And just you find yourself just taken completely out of the moment, and you absolutely forget what you were scared of. It's strange. Do you have to spend a possibility to do that? You don't, do you?
No.
That's a very good skill. Use it more often. Okay,
They
that's
haven't
everyone
been
this round.
stymied or vulnerable in my presence.
Yeah. It's
Or
the
I wanted
villains'
them to be
go.
stymied or vulnerable because they're attacking me.
Right. The villains are set back. The setback for the villains is represented in this way that one of them is distracted. The only person that can see this, however, is Juro. You notice, Juro, that out of the door, I know you're a bit distracted by the big critter in front of you, but to your right, out of the front door, you can see that one of the temple buildings on the other side of the quad, there's a glowing red sign of fire coming out of the top of it. And the individual, the Yinshui that was Yusai, seems to look towards it and bounds off out of the door. You successfully attacked, didn't you, this round? You just didn't make it do any damage. Juro have a hero card. Now, it's reduced the opponents, but a setback will normally make you lose a round as well. So as the Jinshui moves past the yokai, they tangle briefly in the elongated limbs, and it takes the yokai a second or two to regain you, and it's found itself looking back down at you with this pitifully wooden, albeit sharpened, sword, trying to defend yourself. Right. The villains go first. It's a dramatic scene. The heroes go second. You have a surge this round, which means that everybody who is not of the native reality, or is of the native reality but using a tool that does not conform to the local reality, but you're not, so don't worry. So anyone who's still of core Earth needs to make a reality skill check for me, please. Or just roll 1d20, in fact, is what you're doing. You're looking to not roll a 1.
So that's me, isn't it?
I think that would be Sun, Juro, and Ginny. Unless Juro hasn't gone Pan-Pacifica, has he? He's still core Earth?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. The surge does not affect any of you. But as in a dramatic scene, the villains go first. The yokai screams at you, Juro. Its elongated jaw stretching unnaturally further down than it should. And it leaps wholly towards you, doing an all-out attack.
Oh.
So it will be very vulnerable on its go. It spends a possibility. So that's a 29. That's giving it a bonus number of 9 plus 4 all-out attack gives it a 13. 13 on its unarmed combat is a 28. What is your defense? Melee, because you are armed.
10.
Okay, 23 versus 10. It's getting 2 bonus dice of damage. As its claws and teeth rip into you. And it does 4, so that's 22 versus your toughness. I'm going to allow your kendo vest, if you bring it, to give you bonuses on this.
Toughness of 9.
So 22 versus 9, that's 12 result points of damage, which is enough to do 2 wounds and 4 shock.
What do I add my armor to the toughness?
Yeah, sorry, so what we'll do. So what's your total including armor?
11.
So 11 versus a 22 is still 11, so it's still 2 wounds and 4 shock. I believe you have no possibilities left. Oh, you have 1. Do you want to soak it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What? Are you bastard?
No, he's doing it on your side.
I'm making him fail, not you.
Yeah.
Just save your possibility.
It leaps towards you, and at the last second, you're like backpedaling. Your foot slips on the blood that's been pumping out of Ko for the last like 20 seconds or so, and the thing dives over you, goes into a barrel roll, but ends up skidding in through the door of the ladies' toilet, missing you entirely. Heroes goes. What are you doing?
What's proved?
Taunt and trick.
Oh.
Right.
I think running away is a good idea, actually.
How many of them are there?
1 now.
What, you mean the big guy has been taken out?
No, the undeadly risen Yusai has been distracted by fire from outside.
Ah, okay. Right. Well, I'm guessing this one. If we can still see the yokai.
You'd have to step into the corridor to. No, you wouldn't. No, you can't currently. If you step into the corridor, you can see Juro lying on his chubby fat butt, and the door to the women's toilet is doing that like backwards and forwards style saloon door thing.
And
Right.
where's the baddie? Can I see the baddie?
It's in the ladies' toilets, and you haven't got line of sight.
So you're not.
He didn't mean to be going in the ladies' toilets, but that was the effect of the opponent fails.
Hmm. So I'm not going to be able to trick him, unless I don't know.
Taunt you could do. I would allow a trick depending on the trick. If it was some kind of yelled verbal trick, which it could still hear, I'd allow that.
Yeah, or maybe I could use something to. I mean, would I be allowed to use telekinesis as a trick?
No.
No. Okay.
Telekinesis lets you replace strength things, not mind or spirit or charisma.
Right.
I'm just going to taunt it.
You're going to yell out. You don't know what it is you're fighting, but you're fighting something.
Come out
Sheer
and fight
absolute
you!
bravado.
Yeah, come out and fight you, ungodly demon.
Okay,
Maybe
go for taunt then.
Gain weight, don't worry.
Before you taunt him, I think I'm actually going to make him vulnerable to make the taunt easier.
With a
trick. I think I'm going to start sort of doing a chant, to ward off evil spirits or something that I know.
yeah, fine. You've got enough religion and what have you to possibly know something. So go for that. That's fine. So you're going to just do that just before the yelling of sun, or we're going to say you're both yelling it at the same time, but mechanically one goes off before the other. So we're going to have Ayaka's trick go off and then Sun's taunt.
Sure.
14. So that is 12. 14.
Can I taunt as well after? Because I've got quite a high taunt.
Yeah, you can do as well. You can just help her. You follow on what she's yelling, so you do it subsequently.
So 14. That puts me at. Yeah. The final number is 14.
Okay. Now, remind me what trick's based on. Still haven't put the skill list on here.
Tricks based on mind.
Okay. Your difficulties are they're not difficult. This thing's trickable. What did you get?
14. I said.
Okay. Do you want to make it very vulnerable, very stymied, or a combination thereof?
Very vulnerable, so that when someone tries to stymie it, they'll be
Okay, not a problem. So, have a card. Okay, go ahead, taunt squad.
Come out and fight, you scum-sucking demon. I'll spend a possibility on that, eh?
Okay, go ahead.
I've got a bunch of them to burn. You can't take them with you when you go. Oh no.
That's a 10. 16. The 1 counts as a 10, remember?
Oh, the one counts as a 10.
Yeah, possibilities are powerful. They're a minimum roll of 10 on the dice.
Oh, that's better then. Okay, so it gives me a +3 in total to my taunt, which is gotta be spirit, surely.
I think taunt's charisma.
Oh, okay, yeah, so fair enough. So that's 8 plus my 3 gives me an 11. Not fair.
11 is just enough. Its defensive taunt is an 11. So you get a standard success. Do you wish to make him... Well, you're only really going to make him stymied because he's already very vulnerable.
Right, yeah,
So
that'll do.
single stymied, but you get a card for that, and you can play one into your pool as well.
Play into the pool.
Master plan. Now, Gaz just went AFK quick. Hopefully it's a quick AFK. So I'll take a quick AFK.
Because it says go, yeah.
Hmm. Who has the knife at this point?
Not I. I've got a broken chair leg.
Hmm.
You mean the flick knife?
Yeah.
I took that. It's in my pocket. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think the only way that I can actually do damage is if, as I said earlier, like you stab someone with it, and then I use telekinesis to sort of just move the knife around. Because my character's dexterity is terrible, so she's not going to hit anything unless it's.
You could probably telekinetically lift it out of my pocket. Then.
If he knows it's there. Is Gaz back yet?
Doesn't seem so.
If you got possibilities, you could hit anything, I guess.
Okay, let's roll Gaz's taunt for him. Can somebody generate a skill of
Oops.
She spends a possibility. That's a 16, giving a bonus number of 3. On to the taunt of 12, that's a 15 versus its taunt. It's not enough to get a superior success.
But it's +4, right? Isn't it? Because he's vulnerable.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because he can't go over. She's not going to get an extraordinary success to get a player's call either because the 4 won't take it up 2 lots. But it is now very vulnerable and very stymied. And Gaz gets the Inspire card.
Back.
We did your roll. You got the drama card Inspire or Destiny card Inspire. You get to put a card into your action pool as well.
Okay.
Just not the Inspire. Okay. Next round. When suddenly, still dramatic, villains go first, heroes are set back, the approved actions are defend and intimidate. The setback is anybody in the corridor. Smoke starts to billow from upstairs, so smoke is beginning to seep down. And the people who are nearest the stairs, you see the figure of Ayumu, her teary, smoke-streaked face, stumbling down from upstairs. She's mumbling to herself, but at this moment in time, you can't really tell what she's saying. And it's defend and intimidate are the approved actions this round, and the villains go first. Juro, the door in front of you is ripped off its hinges as this thing, again, leaps out towards you. So this hulking great monstrosity is diving towards you, again, with an all-out attack, because it's already very... so it might as well double up. And it's spending a possibility. So that's a 28. That's a bonus number of 9 on its unarmed combat. 24. I think that hits you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's enough for 2 bonus die of damage, unless you're doing anything to reduce its margin of victory.
I don't have anything.
Remember, you've got 2 extra defense.
You do. That's not enough to reduce its margin beyond down from 2 bonus dice. That is 26 damage, which versus your toughness, which will include your armor.
11.
That's 15 result points. That is 3 wounds and 6 shock.
Uh,
You have 3 wounds.
Yeah.
You are on 0 wounds. It doesn't kill you, but you are at -3. If you take another wound, that's when you're
Is there not
defeated and dying.
possibility to save it?
You can spend a possibility to soak if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ayaka, as the options of what's going on begin to coalesce in front of you, you feel that same sensation. This time, however, it's almost as if the energy that Duro is using, some of it is being siphoned back to the creature.
Like it's becoming more powerful.
It is definitely getting empowered when certain events take place.
Does that count as a miss?
No, because you got hit. Roll reality skill check. You need to get at least a 10 to soak any damage. That's a total of 10, by the way.
Yeah.
I think your reality skill shouldn't be a 0, it should be a 1.
Yeah. I got 9 plus 0. 9.
Okay, you are unable
Spend
to
a
soak the
possibility
damage.
on that though.
He hasn't got any left.
Can he have one?
If you want to give him one,
Am I able to give him one?
you can.
Yeah.
Ginny
doesn't have to be
yells
inside.
out some words of encouragement, and you find yourself invigorated with energy that you are now able to spend on your roll.
Okay. So he's staving off the inevitable here. No.
Yeah. So that's an 18 because it counts. Sorry, 21 because it counts as at least a 10. So 21 is a minus number of 8 onto your reality skill. You soak 2 wounds and all the shocks. You still take a wound, so you're down. So it still strikes you across the arm.
No! I'll shout out.
Again, not that it probably will matter, but Kerry, roll a d6. If you survive this encounter, you will be suffering from these symptoms until I tell you otherwise. Okay.
Mhm.
Who's going first?
I don't know. Maybe if someone could. I'm thinking if you want to harm this thing, then if someone could make it very vulnerable, and then Jiro could try to stab it, and then I could try to use the knife again.
Is it very? What's it at the moment? Didn't we do stuff?
It
to
is currently very vulnerable. No, it's no longer very vulnerable. Very stymied because it's go. And let me double check that because it did go first. Hang on. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
I want to go
When
last this time.
do the conditions fade?
Has it got claws and teeth, this
Oh,
thing? Is that
Oh,
what
it's
you-
got big claws and big teeth.
I'll
yeah, it's
taunt
actually-
it again though if it helps. Then
Do you think we can actually defeat this? Should we be?
I can.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's
Can
actually
ya?
pretty...
good on you.
Yeah.
Okay, is it possible for me to use? I guess it should be.
Yeah, they
telekinesis
fade at
to-
the end of its go.
telekinesis to force someone to hit itself or themselves.
No, I'm not going to say that one.
Oh, that would be funny though.
Could you use telekinesis to just hurl something at it, like
Yeah.
force thingy style?
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to hit because I'm not going to be very likely to hit.
Have you got any possibilities?
One, and I want to save that for when.
But I can help
Dice
there.
can explode. Have a go. I don't know.
Has anyone got a splody thing?
Oh, that reminds me. Sun and Ginny both make willpower rolls.
No!
Or Spirit if you haven't got willpower.
Is there like any
Bollocks, I'm spending a possibility on that.
any like what do they call the
No!
13. That's about number 1.
the fire thing? What that you usually put out fires with?
I got
Fire
12.
extinguishers.
Yeah, are there any of those around?
I'd probably say there would be at least one. What did you get,
9.
Skellen? 9, not enough. Skellen, you're very stymied this round.
Yeah.
you think we need to fight this? Do you think it would be vulnerable if we led it to the shrine or something? If it would be more, if it would be susceptible to some.
Can we see fire at the moment?
You can see smoke coming down from the upper floors of the building you're currently in, and if you look out of the front of the building, which you can still see, it's all glass, you can see there is also steadily spreading flame on the temple complex on the other side.
How far away is that?
Probably about 90 or so meters, because it's out of the building and then across the.
Okay, how much is it? Like, the guy who was drinking all the sake, has he still got anything left? I'm just trying to think of anything flammable around.
Fire's got to hit.
There might be.
Probably not enough to like make the thing burst into flame, though.
Greater fire! We need fire. Fire will kill it.
Come on, 10-second come around. What are you doing?
Yeah, come on. Hasn't anyone
I know. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just letting you guys go first.
I'm I'm going to calm and soothe Sun. Or attempt to.
Oh, okay.
Get
Yeah,
rid of
you're
this.
going to try and get rid of the very stymied. Cool.
Very stymied.
Back massage. Nice one.
Persuasion check, difficulty 10.
Woo!
Rolling in an ad.
Woohoo! Yeah, I passed it.
29. Yeah, you get rid of that. You suddenly find yourself being cut down. Juro, you're
And-
currently sitting on your ass. You haven't got an yet.
I raise my spear defensively and wait for it, so I'm defending.
Okay, so you're doing an active defense this round. Go ahead.
Is Juro near the door to the upstairs?
No, he's further away from the stairs going.
Okay.
The stairs going up a bit sort of behind you to your left. If you imagine you're now facing the corridor, halfway along the corridor where the doors to the toilets are, there's the creature on the doors on the left and the right to the men's and the ladies. And in between those is now the yokai standing over the recumbent form of security officer Juro, who's holding his sword up defensively,
Okay.
giving him a bonus number of 2 to his defenses. So, Sun's go, unless Ayaka's doing anything first.
Could you telekinesis open the door to reveal the flames, or maybe behind upstairs, whatever?
Oh, is that a thing?
Don't know.
Would that be possible? I mean,
You can open the door with your mind, certainly.
yeah, but if there's like that's not going to do much. If it's just
You haven't successfully defended yet. You have to actually not get hit to approved action defend.
It'll be helpful if there's fire behind it. Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah.
Once you put a card into your hand, can you play it straight away? Your action pool.
If it's in your pool, you can play it almost immediately, yes.
So can I play Inspire then?
You can do. Who are you playing it on?
It's everyone. Everyone gains either a choice of all play to give all Storm Knights their choice of one possibility, a draw from the Destiny deck, or they can recover 3 shock.
Okay. You guys got that?
Possibility.
Thank you.
Can I have a draw
Or a
from the
card,
Destiny
or
deck?
3. Yep.
Possibility for me.
Reality Surge. Did you want a card, Skellen, or a possibility? Yeah.
I had a possibility.
Cool. Okay, Ayaka, what are you doing?
Okay. Are there any fire if there was a
Yeah,
fire
there's a couple of fire extinguishers. It's a well-equipped modern office.
Okay. I think I'm going to try to hurl the fire extinguisher at the yokai telekinetically.
Shot.
The force is strong in this one.
For the targeting, you can use Dex plus your psychokinesis skill,
Oh, okay, that's
or kinesis, I should say.
That's still only.
It's an ad.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm yeah, okay. I might spend the possibility on that, but I'll see. 13. That's one. That's well. I'm still only at. How easy is it to hit this thing?
It's moving very fast. Its dodges
So
15.
it's not large or anything.
Not large enough that you get bonuses to hit it.
So I need 15. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a possibility of that.
That's a
Well,
23.
still at 23. So 8. 8. Yeah. Okay. And while I'm at it, well, does this count as a physical action?
Ish.
So
It's
I
an
can
action.
Could I use adrenaline?
Yeah, because you're using your dex.
Yeah, okay.
Because adrenaline is any dex, dex or strength-based action.
Right. So I'll do that, and that gets me 3. 8. So that's 20. Wait,
What's your total?
yeah, that's 18.
Yeah, you hit it. No bonus damage though. You're going to do strength +2, or in your case, mind +2.
Yeah, so that's 14.
The fire extinguisher rips off the wall, hurls into the thing with force. It just hits it on one of its arms and just bounces to the ground, clattering loudly.
Looks cool though.
Yeah. Like maybe if someone could explode it, I don't know.
Sun.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, nice one. I like that. Okay, so maybe I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but I play.
Okay.
Dun, dun. So the see, I need I'm going to try and basically kill it and take myself out with it. Which the idea of exploding the fire extinguisher kind of sounds good. Although I was also thinking of basically dragging it into the flames with me and dying as well. But are the flames too far away for that? Or
Yeah, a little bit. We can narrate this. It's not a problem. Sun runs forward with no care or attention towards his personal safety. He distracts the creature briefly, just giving Juro enough time to back away. And then as the yokai is bearing down on you, you take your impromptu stake and ram it into the already, shall we say, structurally damaged fire extinguisher. There is a bigger explosion than you might think of the contents of this thing. It's not a water-based one. It's one of the ones that's full of like compressed gas. And the blast knocks Sun out of the door, knocks the creature back into the wall next to the women's toilet. A crack that was already in the door lintel is made bigger, and essentially all of the 5-meter area of building immediately above that point collapses down, burying the creature underneath it and revealing that the floor upstairs is on fire. The light from that fire illuminates the scene at the front door, which has now been blasted off its hinges, where Sun picks himself up. He's like brushing himself off, standing heroically in the flames, and is then buried as about 15 infected dogpile him.
die.
Well done.
Wow.
So you now have Fire upstairs. This thing's buried under rubble. Hopefully dead. You're not entirely sure. The front doors are now open, and you can see that the fire of the temple from outside has attracted the infected to your position. They are at least outside the front of the building in significant numbers. You've just watched Sun get torn apart, basically. What are you guys doing?
Well, I got one idea sort of from looking at the layout of the place, which is that there's a lot of roofs here that.
Oh, probably. I mean, as you're panicking and looking around, Ayumu is like stumbling down the stairs, and she's basically mumbling, "It's only fitting. The Empress should be cremated." And you look, and as you look at her, you can see she's got what looks like a petrol can in her left hand, and she's still holding her Zippo lighter. And she's just looking withdrawn, and she just doesn't see what's happening in front of her.
Well, if I can do anything, I'll try to take the. If there's still fire around.
There is burning rubble on top of the pile that's outside the ladies' toilets, and you can see the above you now, where you can see through the hole. It's ablaze above you.
Right. So, is it like an open flame around where the infected are?
You can see flame on the other side, but there aren't really any open flame around. Yeah, no, there is. There's probably not by them, but the distance from the women's toilets to the front door, which is a distance of about maybe 10 meters.
Okay.
I mean, when I say there are numbers, you can't. Sun is buried under a pile.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, if it was possible to move that telekinetically, the petrol can, to douse them in stuff, if it was anything that might actually ignite it.
You can give it a shot. Give us a kinesis roll. Difficulty is 14s on this.
Oh!
Okay, mishap. I believe you take 2 shock and it fails.
Yeah.
We're going to say you get a burst. The petrol can is grabbed. You do manage to pull it out of Ayumu's hands. The petrol can is grabbed. Ayumu does not let go of it, and both her and the petrol can go hurtling down the corridor. Unfortunately, too far, and out the front door into the darkness. You can now hear the sound of crashing glass from upstairs. You then, Jin and Juro, you also hear the sound of crashing glass from the restroom behind you.
I think it's time for Juro to run away.
Okay, well, the only way you know out at the moment that isn't blocked, there was a fire exit in the restroom.
There's a shout. This place is overrun.
You turn, and you can see the fire exit in the restroom, but on the wall straight ahead of you, on the right-hand wall of the restroom, you can see that 3 of the windows are cracking. Glass has been pushed out of one of the top panes, and you can see a crowd of infected literally pushing up against the windows on the right-hand side of the restroom.
So there's nowhere.
Well, there's a clear route to the fire exit, but that would involve going outside.
Yeah, I think outside's my only option.
Okay, am I assuming that you're pegging it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ginny, what are you doing?
I will follow. suit.
Ayaka, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna follow them, but I also think from the layout of this place, it looks like there's a lot of roofs. They're not very tall, so you could probably run on them and avoid infected a bit more easily if you can climb up on the roofs.
That would be a valid tactic, except when you get outside, you can see that a majority of the temple complex is actually on fire now.
Okay, that's probably not a very good idea then.
There's beyond the fire exit, which is on the western side of the building, there is a short, maybe 10, 15 to the outer wall of the temple. And then it's only about a 6 foot high perimeter wall on that side. So, I mean, you get out into the cold night air, you can hear the infected behind you. You can start to hear the sounds of massive amounts of movements in the trees around you. The only option you've got at this moment is to flee away from the situation, which will be west across the park. You don't pause to think about what you're doing. You just run. And because we've got about 30 minutes left, you run until the shrieks of the infected echoing behind you. The three of you left, because needless to say, in the rush to get out of the restroom, one of the windows bashed in and the infected surged in. Ken, Akira, Mr. Makoto, the nice shopkeeper, overwhelmed.
I forgot about that.
The woods suddenly give way ahead of you to a tall metal barrier surrounding what looks like a construction site. The wall is dominated by large safety signs and smaller notices reading Kanawa Corporation, building the future. You can see in the quite strong moonlight where you are now that the clouds have cleared. There is a place in the wall where one of the metal sheets has been pried outwards. You're looking left and right. You can hear sounds in the woods all around you. You could run further to the left, but you can't see where the wall ends, and the same further to the right. Your instincts kick in, and pretty much this is the only option you've got. So, Juro, you pry the metal back, enabling the two girls to get through ahead of you, I'm assuming. Are you still being here or self-sacrificial at this point? Okay, you are going to have to make me a dexterity check, because literally as let's say Ayaka goes through last, you hear the sounds of infected charging through the woods behind you.
8 minus some.
8. Okay. You begin to squeeze through the gap.
Sorry, that would be 4.
Do you want a possibility on that?
Squeeze through the gap. Ginny can give you a
Do you want to roll a
possibility.
possibility?
I'll spend my last possibility.
You can have another one.
I'll give you one as well.
Giving you one. Well, that's a 10. That gives you a 16. So 3 onto your dex.
11.
Okay. You're squeezing through and cursing the fact that you didn't keep up your exercise rate as you're trying to squeeze your bulk through. You're just getting the majority of yourself through when you feel teeth painfully sink into the meat of your left leg, and something pulls a chunk away. You drag yourself through, and the metal plate clashes down as the things on the other side are pushing against it, not knowing any better. But there's blood streaming down your left calf. On this side, there are about 10 bloody bodies strewn around the hole you just come through. The only thing you recognise is they all appear to be wearing the same gang colours as Co. It looks like, or beyond the carnage, about 50 metres away, is a tall, partially constructed building with two strange gun turrets sitting outside its main entrance. Scattered around the construction yard between you and it are piles of materials, but no vehicles. There isn't a living thing in sight, but as you watch, the guns quietly track backwards and forwards, glinting in the moonlight. The only noise is the thudding thud 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 noise of the creatures that are only feet away from you behind that protective wall. What are you doing?
Well, I'm guessing it's too late to save Juro.
Well, he's out. He's here with you. There's just blood streaming out of his left leg. You took another wound, by the way, Kerry.
Because
been bitten.
I was sort of imagining him being stuck in a wall, and then they were swarming out on the other side, and basically just gonna.
He managed to pull his leg free as one of them took it. Otherwise, it would have been exactly that if he'd failed the roll. Juro would have been stuck in the hole, blocking it with his living body as his waist and down was ripped apart.
Right. Could I somehow? I don't know. Use if he's not in there, then maybe use telekinesis to block the way. If there's something around.
What, you mean like pick up a piece of construction board and hold that up as a shield?
Yeah, or just the thing he pried open. Maybe I could try to shut it.
Oh no, it's already. I mean, it's been pushed shut. I mean, you pried it upwards and away from the wall, so the creatures are on the other side and now pushing it against it. So essentially, they've pushed it shut with the weight of their own bodies.
Right, so they're not getting through.
They're not getting through currently, certainly not. Although the wall is wobbling, it seems to be quite sturdy, but it is shaking with the weight of the impact of whatever's behind it.
Okay, so there wouldn't be any point in trying to reinforce it.
No, you don't think so at this moment in time. It's just, the adrenaline's kicking out. You don't think you would be reinforcing one tiny part, but the number that sound like they're out there, they're impacting the wall at like tens of meters length along it.
Okay, I'm thinking that if these turrets were going to shoot us, they would have done it already.
Well, at the moment you're stood, and about 5 to 10 feet ahead of you is where all these bodies are arrayed. So what are you doing?
I'm testing the guns. Maybe they run out of ammunition. Can I throw something out there? See what happens.
You can do.
All right. Find a plank of wood or something.
You take an effort. You throw something out. You throw it up. One of the guns tracks towards it, but doesn't do anything.
It's not guaranteed.
Shout and wave.
Yeah. Are there any cameras?
Help!
You can't. I mean, the building looks like it's not fully constructed. It's like not got any. There's no finished fascia. You can't see any security.
No cameras on these turrets.
Well, there appear to be cameras on the turrets. Yeah. Well, they're seeing and tracking with something.
Can you use your psychic powers to hold up something in front of the camera so they can't see us?
I probably could do that, but it might.
Is it just censored rather than actual people tracking it?
Yeah, but it still need a camera to detect movement, wouldn't it? Well, some
could be lasers. Yeah.
I think we got bigger concerns right now. They're being watched.
Boom, 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 coming from the wall behind you.
Yeah.
Or we could hide and they'll rush through and get shot. But
we could, because could we not just go along the wall? So go left, down along the wall, and hope they all come charging through and straight for it. the gun.
Oh, anybody who has been wounded, can you roll me a d6?
Not everyone. Huh? Son. Are you
Yeah,
sure?
wounded but still alive. Okay, Juro, if that wasn't your symptom, it is now. And Ginny, if this wasn't your symptom, it is now. And at this point, what are you doing as the guns begin to center upon you as they're tracking?
Ah, bugger.
They've stopped tracking backwards and forwards, and they're now tracked on your position.
Well, is it tracking Jiro and Jen?
Well, at the moment you're a small group, so you haven't really got that much to differentiate. They're pointing in your group's direction.
Well,
Wave and shout. We're normal.
Yes, I'm not infected. I am not a wounded. Please don't shoot me. Come inside.
Okay. And it's almost 11. You hear a sound from above as a VTOL aircraft flies over towards the building and lands atop the building out of your line of sight. It's up quite high.
Shielder here.
You doing anything?
I'm gonna wait yet. Not running towards him yet.
Okay.
Wait till it looks at the guns.
Minutes pass. The doors covered by sheet plastic ahead of you open, and a squad of 10 men in black modern style armor, similar to samurai armor, fan out in a semicircle around the door. A 10th man, each of these guys currently carries an ultra modern looking fire. A 10th man steps out a few moments later wearing the same armor but no helmet. His features are Korean and handsome, and he wears his long black hair in a ponytail. His expression, however, seems to be a permanent weary scowl.
I swoon a little bit.
He folds his arms, looks at you with absolute disdain. Stormus. He points towards towards Ayaka, sorry. Keep that one alive for study and questioning. Purge the rest, he hisses. This facility is a loss. Trigger the burn protocol immediately. And the scene fades to black with the loud sound of automatic gunfire.
Wait
as
a
Juro
second.
and
That was
Ginny
awesome.
are cut down in automatic weapon fire.
Yeah. Can I play that?
Whatever
I-
you play
Can I say
in
opponent
the
fails?
following round, yes, one of them fails.
I haven't got it. I've used it. Oh no!
But as I say, one of them fails.
What about second chance? Can I play second chance?
Well, you could dodge. However, whatever you do, the gunfire makes the wall behind you lose structural integrity, and even if you survive the first round of fire, the wave of the infected that swarm in take care of you after that. Ayaka, you are dragged by 3 of them, kicking and screaming away from the scene into the building. You are gagged and hogtied or tied up. you're shown to the top of the building. It's a very inside the building. Looks like it's finished. It appears to be some kind of research lab. And the last thing you see as this VTOL aircraft takes off is the entire building disappears in a fiery explosion.
Cool.
Okay,
Days
who
later,
pressed the button this time?
days later, the fires around the Harajuku district are out. Private security forces have surrounded and quarantined the entire district. But inside the cordon, a former construction site belonging to the Kanawha Corporation, it lies in ruins. Deep within that burned wreckage, something or someone lurches awake. And that's the after credits scene.
Oh,
It's not entirely sure, but a lot of people pause the after credits scene, and it's a bit of a distance, but the hand that comes up out of the wreckage, some people say a couple of the fingers show quite nicely manicured fingernails.
yay!
Other people say, no, it's not what you're seeing. Look, it's got a zip tie in its hand, but it's
That's
not
fine.
entirely certain.
I've got a zip tie around my hands as
Yeah,
well.
my manicure hands.
I have well manicured hands
Exactly.
with zip tie still on.
Fans argue, we never saw what Juro's manicures were like. It could still be him. But at least one person or thing survives.
Yay.
You missed out loads.
Did we?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get it finished tonight anyway. So you basically, if you can get past the guns, and it's supposed to be a no-win
How-
scenario, just so you
How do we
didn't do
get past
too
the
badly.
guns?
Just run past them.
All right.
They
we
each
should-
get one shot, and then you can keep running. But it's difficult. You have to go 2 rounds, so there's only 2 of them. Normally there'd be more of you, so they'd be tracking more. But
Take
3 of
one
you.
out at a time.
Yeah, you can trick them. You can try other things. I mean, for example, you could have lent something up telekinetically to block the view of one and do other stuff.
Yeah.
But inside the building, which is very much constructed rather than under construction, dim blue lights illuminate finished hallways. The scaffolding and girders outside mask a complete and highly secure structure. A man in a white lab coat carries a stack of black plastic trays into the hallway just as you enter. The trays are piled with stacked plastic cubes, and inside each cube is a twisted-looking seed about the size of a walnut. The room the scientist came from is filled with computers, lab equipment, and piles of readouts. The entire far wall is composed of large glass windows with a view into a huge central chamber filled with a hazy green atmosphere. The chamber looks like a greenhouse with artificial lighting, and 2 men in thick hazmat suits tending rows of strange-looking plants. These plants, obviously you don't know this, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. The plants look like leafy heads of lettuce. Most are closed, but a few are open, like blossoming flowers, revealing a bloody human skull in the centre. But the chamber is dominated by a single massive bulb, roughly the size of the men in protective gear. Its buds are closed, but quiver slightly, as if the entire thing were breathing. And then if you manage to negotiate past the researchers, you get a race to the top to meet the, in quotes, rescue team that are arriving, and that becomes frenetic because the bad guys outside break in at that point, including the yokai that you thought you had defeated so readily at the shrine, because it has some funky abilities you didn't encounter, such as fast healing. So I would have tried to kill off as many of you as possible before you get to the roof, until what you basically saw at the bottom is instead enacted as the guys come off of the VTOL. And again, one of you gets to survive. The rest of you have ignominious and possibly unknown defeats.
Cool.
But if you do die and it gets to the last combat, anybody that died earlier can play themselves as a Jing Shai.
Ah,
So if it had come to the end,
Yes,
you would have
kept
had
saying
a
Turns into a Jinshai.
yeah. You would have had a son, Zhang Shi, a co Zhang Shi. So they would have had stuff to do in the final combat. But well done anyway.
Yay.
As
awesome.
I said,
Yay,
I'm
being
glad I played my
failed.
card. That was cool.
it was good. It was a very good one. Pretty much, honestly, guys, they put that in on purpose. I mean, Kerry, you were getting the hint after about combat round 2. Shouldn't we be running away? I don't think I can kill this thing. I really don't think I can kill. No, I'm not going to kill this thing. And yeah, you're not going to kill it. Every time you spend a possibility to soak, it gets a possibility added to its total. And it starts with a number of possibilities equal to your number. So it started with 5.
Badass.
It is badass. But cool. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
You survived. Well, you didn't survive. But you survived. You as players survived.
One
we're
of
not
us
dead.
did.
We're still alive.
Yeah,
We don't know who, but one of us did.
Well, no, one of you definitely said. Well, Yucca's been taken for experimentation.
I think I'd rather be dead
Yeah.
than whatever's going to happen to him. Turns
Yeah.
into a lettuce.
Actually,
His
to
skull
avoid any ambiguity, Badger, what actually happened is the first couple of shots that hit you were from guys using different guns, and you were basically tranked. You were still conscious, but you couldn't bring your mind together to do anything. That's why you weren't able to telekinetically beat up anybody.
Oh.
But yeah, you probably wake up at some point later in a facility somewhere. But that's another story.
Right, folks, I'm going to drop the stream now.
Cool, thank you.